Just one monocle can change the way a child sees Somalia. Won't you give today? Let's make these children 2020 by 2030.
And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jordan B. Peterson, and you're watching Ethan Van Sciver, comic book artist extraordinaire and illustrator of my book, 12 Rules for Life, An Antidote to Chaos, on Comic Artist Pro Secrets. Bye-bye.
And if you don't like my politics, don't buy my book. Don't read them. And if you don't like my politics, don't buy my book. Don't read them. Girls read comics. Girls have always read comics. Problem solved. White boys, comic book reader. Don't buy my book. Don't buy my book. I literally can't even think. We can have a little conference on that. Would you please get your politics out of my comic books? Don't read them. What comic books are you reading? What comic books are you reading? Would you please get your politics out of my comic books? Don't read them. What comic books are you reading? What comic books are you reading? Comic book reader. Comic book reader. May I curse? White boys, don't read them.
I have an important message for you. You did it. I'm super proud of you. Yay! You did it! Yay!
There is nothing inherently masculine of heroism. There's nothing inherently masculine heroism. Girls read comics. Girls have always read comics. Problem solved. Magic!
Yay! Yay! You did it! Yay! Indisputable truth.
So don't.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Comic Artist Pro Secrets. You're listening to me, Van Sciver, 28-year veteran. The comic book industry, like it matters, like it effing matters. World's most charming, disarming, elegant, eloquent, and yet humble man. Great big Star Wars fan. I keep doing that. It's just a habit. Great big Gina Carano fan. Trusted member of the media. Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Happy Saturday to you all. I'm happy to happy to be with you guys. It's always good to be with you guys. Yesterday went to a wedding. I would have done I would have done a live stream or something with you guys. So busy. It was just nonstop errands, nonstop running around, making sure that we were able to. Andrea and I were able to go to a wedding, able to go somewhere by ourselves. It was magnificent. The last thing I ever really want to do is go to a wedding, unless it's my own. I don't want to go to other people's weddings too much. It's not really my thing. But on the other hand, once we got into the car by ourselves and we were heading somewhere where we were going to be with other adults and drink and just be together, like we're able to get dressed. I was wearing a hell of a nice suit. Andrea looked beautiful, as she does, It was great. But, Drove all the way home. It was up near New York, northern New Jersey, up in Sopranos neighborhood, if you've been up there. So, drove all the way home, crashed in bed. I got to tell you, Hunter's never going to move out. Hunter's new girlfriend, we like her a lot. She's great. She's sticking around. Hunter cares about this girl, which is good. Happy to see that. Normally, when he's dating a girl, he's like, it's my car and then you, in that order. And they don't stick around for very long after that. Hunter just saying, understand, I do have a body pillow, and it's of my car. It's not any manga chick. It's not any anime chick, and it's not you. It's my car. Well, this time he found one that he likes. So, she was babysitting yesterday. She was helping out. We're hiring her. She was getting stuff together for our eBay sale. We're getting ready to fulfill that. And she stayed over. So, we're actually, Hunter's never going to move out. I said, they're going to live here. You understand? They're going to get married. They're going to live here. It's just the way it's going to be. David Feed, thanks for $5. Unlike Red Rooster, Red Eyes 1 fulfilled on time. Red Eyes 2 is live now. Wink, wink. Sorry for the shameless promo. And then there's an emoticon or an emoji of a sad face. Why be sad? Why be sad about that? It just seems like that would be something that you'd be proud of. Congratulations. Red Eyes 2 is live right now. And thank you for fulfilling on time. Yeah, we got a couple of things to discuss today. I mean, the first one is that, Whisper Network article that Bleeding Fool published. I was under the impression that the Whisper Network articles were going to cease. I thought Penny Parker had retired, but I was quite surprised and pleased when Bleeding Fool sent me a little message privately and just said, hey, just a heads up, we're going to run a new one at 11 o'clock today. And I went, this is not a good time because I can't discuss it. I'm too busy. I won't be able to get to it until tomorrow. But the news waits for no man. The news is not going to wait for me. And it is important that, it's important that that information gets out. Before the article launched, there was a hyperspasm of weird SJW troll bullshit on Twitter. We noticed it. Zach said to me, he said, something big's coming. Zach said something horrible is on its way. I don't know what it is, but these people kind of mobilize. Let me explain for those of you who are new here. We have in the comic book industry and in many other industries, but we're focused on comics, a radical group of left-wing, far left-wing, necessarily far left-wing activists who only love comics tangentially. They've run across them in their lives. They don't seem to really be comic book fans. They're pretending to be comic book fans. But they've invaded the comic book industry and have basically shit up, as they say. I think Medicare called it shitting up. When he was talking about Gamergate, the video game industry, they shit up the things that we love. They do it for spite, and then they gatekeep. So in other words, they'll work their way into positions of creative power. Usually, they do that by announcing that they are they're marginalized in some way. Your company doesn't have enough, black Muslims who are lesbians in wheelchairs. And you need to hire me to represent. You don't even understand how many black Muslim lesbians in wheelchairs there are out there. There are lots of them. And they're reading your comics and they don't feel represented. And I would say the fact that you don't hire these people seems racist. It's racism that you are not hiring these people. Now, I can make that problem go away, or I can scream. I can scream as loud as I can about this problem, or you can just hire me. And so these cowardly, cuck-like weaklings, these soy beta male cucks, Let me say cuck one more time. Soy beta male cuckolds. Hire these people, put them in positions of power, and then they go on to just destroy things that they didn't build. And that's the key component here. Anybody can make comics. We don't want to gatekeep, anyone from making their own comics. They should be able to do whatever they want to do. We don't want to disinvite them or make them feel unwelcome. The free market exists for a reason. They put a book out there. If somebody likes it, they're going to buy it, and you're going to make a little bit of money. You'll be able to do your own sequel to it. But on the other hand, these people should not be getting into positions where they can get on the Punisher, for example, make him an anti-gun advocate because that's who they are. That's the message they want to send, and then make him trans and black and Muslim and put him in a wheelchair. Like, none of that. We don't, that's kind of what they were doing for a long time. So that's what we're enduring in the comic book industry. And when a few brave individuals, one of whom was surnamed ya boy Zach, Christian name. Nine Realms Comics says Elysian Fields Pyramid Gambit is fulfilling presently, and the Embrace is live, 200 away from funding. Congratulations to you. That's great news, Elysian Fields. And thank you for the super chat. So in any case, when a few brave individuals stood up and said, hey, this is nonsense. We don't want this. This is very silly. Get out of here with this stuff. You're ruining comics. They proceeded to dogpile in an attempt to destroy. Well, anyone who criticizes these people, they try to destroy their lives. And over time, over the past 3 or 4 years, first we acknowledged the problem. We acknowledged that there was a problem, and then we sort of have been sussing out the degree. Like, how did this infestation happen? What are the consequences? What's going? How can we fix it? How can we make things better? So turns out, that the mobilization. Your boy Zach was saying something big is going to happen. It's on the verge of happening. There's going to be something big. And the reason why I think so is because SJWs are particularly active right now, and they seem like their feathers are ruffled. When that happens, it means they're going to attack en masse. And they do this. They attack all together in waves. It's awful. You have to survive these waves. And eventually you learn to just, I don't know, do this, and move on, not take anything too personally. But what it was, I guess, is this new Whisper Network article from Bleeding Fool. And I don't know how they knew that this was going to happen, but it seems like they did know. Bleeding Fool comes out with this. Penny Parker, who is doing great work. Penny Parker, of course, is a pseudonym for somebody who found their way into one of these Whisper Network chat rooms. Not a chat room. What am I? That's a very boomer term. Penny Parker found her way into a private Facebook room in which a bunch of women, got together, and basically, among other things, this wasn't the sole purpose of this room. The sole purpose of this room seemed to be sisters are doing it for themselves. But one of the things that was going on in this room was SJWs, radical feminists, were using this privacy to scheme to destroy and deplatform the careers of usually males, usually men in comics. And they would they would gossip together. They would share private personal information, and then they would attempt to make a plan to destroy an individual's life for a perceived slight, even though it wasn't usually. We have to wonder what the reason for this is. One of their targets was going to be Scott Snyder. And I think that I don't know. I'm still not sure why they decided to go after Scott Snyder, but they did, and they went after him. They just started to go after him pretty hard, right at the point where we uncovered this Whisper Network thing. Penny Parker shows up. She was invited into this room. She's got the receipts, and also, she's got connections. She's talking to people. Penny Parker is actually talking to individuals in comics and getting some pretty interesting information. Yes, it is witchcraft. That is right, Leo Schultz. It's definitely witchcraft. Anytime you have one woman, that's a housewife. Two women, that's nothing. That's just that's appropriate. Two women. Three women or more, it is witchcraft. It is a coven at that point. I don't know what it is, unless it's a Tupperware party. And even then, I would say, why is this Tupperware? Why are you chanting incantations around this, sealable burp technology? Why, it will automatically become witchcraft. It's a very strange thing about women. They just can't. Three or more of them cannot get together without acts of evil. You'll find this to be true. Anyway, this new article, Bleeding Fool. The comic industry no longer has a blacklist. It actually has two. Very interesting. The comic book industry is now in the process of finding some of these activists, according to this article, finding some of these activists and doing something about it. I mean, there are some real poison pills that have worked their way into comics. Many of them are women. Some of them are just soy boys, but they're all, they've all made themselves known, and they have all driven away customers and, all this stuff. All right, before we get into this article, let me talk to you guys and see how you're doing. Why does it still say upload video clip here? Why do they do that? Hold on a second. Let me refresh this, and then I might disappear. But I'll be right back. Don't be afraid. Much better. No, there was a little thing. It said upload video clip that was in the middle of the chat, and I couldn't see what you guys were saying. All right, let's see. Mass chicken attack soon. Little peckers cry back. Yeah, get ready for this. I think this is what's going to happen, and be ready for this and understand that the reason why this happens is because they meet in private and they plan this stuff. They actually plan this stuff. Oh, don't be afraid. Come on, guys. I'm here. Egg Chen 6 Demon Bag confesses that he was afraid, but no, I'm here. That's like watching a stream that your grandpa's running. Yes, it is. I'm going to be a grandpa pretty soon. The way things are looking, I'll be a grandpa, and people can call me Grandpa EVS, and I'll be like, and proud of it, excited about getting older. Angry Bandling says, thanks for doing an evening stream, EVS. Well, I know it seems like the evening to you, but we are in America. In America, where Americans are, it is morning time. It's actually Mormon. Morning, I mean, not Mormon. Let me see. EVS, why don't you turn on closed caption? How do I do that? You're asking me to do things that, hold on, is it settings? Let's go into settings. Green screen guests. Audio? What would I click audio and what happens there? Nothing. General. I don't see. I don't know. I don't see any closed caption options. I would definitely use them if I knew about them. If I knew how to do it, I would do it, guys. I would not deny you my words in any format. Adrian Stone says, no woman, no pie. No woman, no pie. Oh, it's not true. I can just go to Walmart. Be honest with you. David Feed says, here we go again. Unlike Red Rooster, Red Eyes 1 is fulfilling and Red Eyes 2 is live now. Hell yeah. And then a big, that's better. I like the smiley emoji better. Let's see here. Esh2448 says, the dirtworm is now infecting my mom with his videos. How do I help my parents see the truth? Yeah, Doug TenNapel has become, here's the thing about Doug TenNapel. Oh God, this is going to turn into a gossip stream because I got to talk about Mike today too. Doug TenNapel contacted me and 2 years ago. He's down on his luck. He said, I had to deal with Scholastic Books that got canceled. And, that was going to be $24,000 worth of income. And I'm in real trouble. I'm looking at Comicsgate. I feel like I'm Comicsgate. I wonder if you'll help me. And I said, yeah, sure. Yeah, sure, I will. I'm Ethan. I help people. My name's EVS. I help people who need my help. So I brought Doug. I said, you're going to have to create a character. Can you create a character? And he said, sure. And he came up with Bigfoot Bill, which was very much like Earthworm Jim, but in a fuzzy jacket. And, he came on the show and he was a regular, and some people love Doug. I had the wrong impression of Doug. I just thought Doug was somebody who didn't get along with people very well, because Doug started immediately screaming at the customers. Like, people were backing Bigfoot Bill. And then Doug did something like Doug made Mike cry. Doug acted like an asshole on the streams. He was here every single day. You can go back and watch these if you want to. Go back and watch the old Comicsgate live streams with the knowledge that Doug TenNapel was using us all, and he thought we were stupid. And it becomes pretty vivid. But I didn't see that, because all I knew was he came to me humbly with his hat out, like, please help me. So I didn't realize that. But Doug made Mike cry, and then you guys started to refund Bigfoot Bill, and you refunded $2,000 from his campaign, and he was livid. He started yelling at you guys. You can still find this video. If this is what Comicsgate's all about, I condemn it. I condemn Comicsgate. You can't be giving me money and taking it away from me. F you. And he started screaming and calling you guys SJWs. By the way, SJW is what you're going to call everybody. Like, when you are anti-SJW, it's become this situation where if somebody's doing something that you don't like, you might call them an SJW. That's got to stop. SJW has a very specific definition. But I had to talk to Doug and say, Doug, that's not the way this works. You have to discipline yourself. Comicsgate is a set of just behavioral patterns that are good for business, and you can't behave this way. In order for Comicsgate to succeed, I mean, Comicsgate is ultimately all it's meant to do, if we're successful, is to provide a path around SJWs in comics. That's what we're doing every day. I mean, every day we get up and we promote our comics, and we try to build a network, and we try to make Comicsgate into something that's successful. And the ultimate goal is just to go around the SJWs who are trying to keep us out. If you are a conservative, or if you're somebody who is anti-SJW, you don't like what they're doing to comics, you do not like how they have destroyed the comic book industry, Comicsgate's for you. This is the way to do this. That they've blocked every single avenue. Like, they will torment you personally. They will find your employer. They will try to get you fired. They'll try to make it so that you can't be employed without these people harassing you. Harassing your employers, all this stuff. So we created this sort of way around them, and it drives them nuts. But you have to do certain things. You have to actually be a good customer service advocate. You have to put your customers first. That's what this is all about. So I had to give Doug this lecture. Do not call the people who are kind enough to invest, money in your book. SJWs, even if they refund you, they might come back. Just be nice. So Doug came back and kind of issued a very strange, hollow apology, and you guys were good to him again. Later on, after Bigfoot Bill was funded, Doug said to me, he made $200,000, and Doug said to me, I won't be using the Comicsgate hashtag anymore. And I said, oh, why not? And he said, well, look, he's like, I got the Earthworm Jim license back. I made a deal with the person who owned the Earthworm Jim license. He told me all this in private, and I was like, okay. Like, so naive. I am naive. I can't help it. I am. I trust people. I believe in the best of people, I think that everybody has kind of the same goal of doing business the right way as I do. But Doug kind of said, I made a deal. Like, I'm trading my video game royalties, straight trade, for the graphic novel rights. But the only way that I could do that is if I proved to them that I was able to make a good graphic novel. So basically, I used you in Comicsgate to fund a graphic novel that was basically Earthworm Jim, but furry, so that I could show these people what an Earthworm Jim graphic novel would be like if you gave me the rights. So thanks, see ya. And I said, okay, Doug, see ya. And then Doug I said, please don't denigrate Comicsgate on your way out, Doug. I said, people here are really depending on Comicsgate to help grow their businesses. That's right. Bigfoot Bill was proof of concept, essentially. So there was some squabbling after that. Doug basically told everybody a lie. He told people that he could not be. They said, why aren't you Comicsgate, Doug? Why aren't you Comicsgate? The real answer is that the real answer why Doug isn't Comicsgate was fuck you. But Doug had to come up with a good answer for that would satisfy everyone. So Doug basically said, well, the people who I licensed Earthworm Jim from have told me that I'm not allowed to associate with any radical extremist groups. I cannot hold extreme views. And I said to him, but you are currently going around talking about fuck the trans people. You've got all this other stuff around you that didn't come from us. Like, you've got these transgender people and the LGBTQ rainbow people, as you call them. They're all attacking you. You're attacking them back. I said, Comicsgate isn't that. We're nowhere near as controversial as you are. And that ended up being, a huge, gigantic squabble in which Doug tried to destroy Comicsgate to kind of cover his tracks. And the whole time he was doing this, he said, I'm into books. I'm all about comic books. I make comic books. I'm not some e-celeb. I don't want to be on YouTube. I hate being on YouTube. I'm here to make books. Have you guys forgotten what it is to be a cartoonist? Ethan barely makes any books. I'm making books. I'm all about the books. He's on YouTube. I'm about books. And I was just like, what the fuck? What is going on? And I really began to dislike Doug Knable. And a bunch of other stuff happened where Doug started to kind of turn people and bring them away from Comicsgate, tell them Comicsgate was stupid and unprincipled and a bad idea. And then these people would leave Comicsgate and their comic book campaigns would flounder because Doug wouldn't help them. And then eventually what ended up happening was Doug put out a couple more books. Earthworm Jim was an enormous success, $800 and something thousand, big success. I was like, that's my target for Cyberfrog 2. I got to beat that. That's amazing. And we did. We destroyed it. But it was a big success. But his next few campaigns weren't. Bigfoot Bill 2 didn't do very well in comparison. Earthworm Jim 2 didn't do very well in comparison. And so Doug decided to become a YouTuber. Doug jumped on the bandwagon of giving people false hope about Trump's election. Right after November, Doug started to tell everybody, trust in the plan. Trump is going to win. He's got a secret plan. And here's my video. Here's my clickbait videos. And his YouTube channel blew up. It blew up filled with people who were hoping he knew what the fuck he was talking about. But Doug doesn't know what he's talking about. Doug is just reading articles from extreme clickbait websites telling people that Trump is going to be president. It's going to be in April, though. Something's going to happen where Trump is suddenly going to be president. And mostly old people seem to be reacting well to this. Doug has conned a whole generation of boomers who don't realize who he is. And because of that, he's making an enormous amount of money. His YouTube channel blew up. I think YouTube is trying to beat him down a little bit. I haven't looked at his metrics in a couple of months, but YouTube is trying to beat him down as he, continues to try to instill false hope in people who are upset. There is a lot of money in that. There is relatively no money in comics compared to the money that you can make selling people false hope. So Doug is a hypocrite. He's absurd. And I would tell your parents, your mom, I would say, this is who this guy is. He's basically reading clickbait articles. You don't have to listen to Doug tell you. Doug doesn't know what he's talking about. Doug spitefully uses people for his own ends. And it turns out his own ends are just money. And there's nothing wrong with that. By the way, there's nothing wrong with being a clickbait YouTuber. I like it. I enjoy when I'm making clickbait videos. I enjoy it. I want to entertain people. I want to make people laugh. I don't want to give people false hope. I don't want to lie to anyone. But I do want to make people laugh. And I do want to talk about what's going on in pop culture. And I want to do it in a way that gets views and makes money. There's nothing wrong with that. but I've never denigrated it. I've never sat there and said that it was a bad thing like Doug did for a long time. B. Kenobi says, love your stuff. Just discovered you. Hey, thanks, B. Kenobi. Welcome. Happy to have you here. Bird Gang says, I think Doug just likes conflict and contrary. Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe he does. But anyway, he's bad for, I mean, Doug is good for Doug and Doug is bad for other people. So I would say, you know, to your parents, stay away from Doug. He is literally a snake oil salesman. What he is selling is snake oil. And if you're a creator, stay away from him too, because he's going to give you terrible, terrible advice. He's going to flatter you and he's going to lead you down a super bad path towards your own doom. Maverick says, good morning, Ethan. I love the hat. Thank you. Now I showed Andrea this. I said, look what she's like, why do you, I said, because I'm on YouTube and because it's important that I look different every time I'm on YouTube. I don't know. Some people can just get on there and wear the same thing all the time. I don't like it. I like to have a different appearance that startles people every time. Never trust backstabbers. Doug is a backstabber. EVS must have gotten weed finally, explains the hat. No, but it's legal in Jersey. I was able to smoke up a little bit like last week. It was great. I did enjoy it. But I am in general, I'm still very Mormon. I don't do any drugs. And you know, the times I've smoked marijuana, I can count them on one hand. I would like to do more of it, but you know. Let me see. John Jones says, good morning, Ethan. How's you? I'm good. I'm all right. Rafa Mauricio says, there are a lot of people who are complete fakes. Doug's one of them. Yeah, but I mean, you know, again, you know, he's going to work his way into that role. But I will say, I will be surprised. You know, here's the thing. When you're a YouTuber and you have 450,000 people who were, you know, subscribed to you, and you're putting out clickbait videos that are consistently getting 500,000 to 1 million views. That is an amazing amount of money. That is an amazing amount of ad revenue. And if you're doing that 3 times a day or 4 times a day, like Doug is, because Doug, I don't know if Doug thinks this is going to last. Doug's making a lot of money. Expect no comic books from Doug. He's not going to do them. Why would you work hard on a comic book? When you get this money just for reading articles, when you know, Doug can just get on one of these websites and read an article about how Trump secretly won and is controlling the government, you know, behind the scenes, to make people who were very upset over Biden's victory, make them feel better temporarily. Let's see. Ethan Van Skyver's pants says, I missed that spiky Spawn jacket. Yeah, it's over there. I like that jacket. And I'm happy about that. Scratchpad says, me, Dad, you got to sway away from Doug. He's a hack. Dad, how's that job search going, son? That's what dads are supposed to do. Tank Ferret, thanks for $10. Smiller, Bratweiser, and Dirtworm make up a trifecta of turdery. That's a new word. Infused with a lack of integrity that shall unite to destroy the confidence of potential investors and bury a fledgling industry. Well, we're going to talk about something that Mike said today, which is pretty alarming. You know, but before we do, I want to, you know, we got enough people in here now. Good morning to all of you. Happy Saturday to you. Today's a pretty good day. I woke up and first of all, I got Trent Kanuga's Unforgettable Unforgettable Tales #4 cover, which looks amazing. And then also Matt Martin of Snowman sent over some new pages. I want to show them to you, but here's the Snowman trailer. New from All Caps Comics, Snowman, A Cold Day in Hell. The victim of a genocidal massacre has somehow returned from the dead and is carving a path of death across the heart of America. Driven by the echoes of silent screams, this is the story of a man once known as Black Dog, the one now forever known as the Snowman. Snowman, A Cold Day in Hell, back in today, only on Indiegogo. Yeah, that's right. Snowman, A Cold Day in Hell. Matt's new pages look great. I gotta say, I'm really impressed with them. He's a fantastic artist. Here's his campaign. Somebody was pointing out, they're like, we have not had a 6-figure campaign launched so far in the year 2021. And I said, holy cow, is that true? Yes, I guess it is true. Nobody has hit 6 figures, young lady. We're already 2 weeks or 1 week into March. Nobody's hit 6. No, we've made a ton of money, certainly, but we have not had a sterling campaign yet. And then I looked to my friend Matt Martin, who only funded for 1 month. He funded for a 1-month period of time. His campaign is in demand right now. Snowman, A Cold Day in Hell, a horror story drawn and written by one of the 1990s most amazing indie success stories, and a good friend of mine. Matt Martin is one of my really, really good friends that goes way, way, way back. I was telling Andrew, I'm like, I have a hard time like making friends now. Hard time with it. But I'm the ones that I've had for a long time are great. Billy Tucci, Dan Fraga, Matt Martin, Trent Kanuga. These guys go way back to the 90s, and they're still here. So I appreciate those guys. I love them. And Matt Martin is just a fantastic artist. Let me show you this. I just did this new update. An Undying Winter. Tell me about it. It was freezing cold yesterday. We got 1 day of 60-degree weather in New Jersey, and I was like taking a walk with Andrea around the block and just enjoy. I'm like, oh my God, spring is coming, spring. And then we get to open the pool in summer. It's going to be great. She's like, your summer's not going to be good. You're going to be fulfilling Cyberfrog. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm going to be inside packing boxes and shipping boxes and stuff and getting Rainbow the Brute ready. It's not going to be that great. But in any case, I don't care. The weather will be good. Then yesterday, 29 degrees. Are you freaking kidding me? 29 degrees outside. An Undying Winter. Hey, Snowman, A Cold Day in Hell backers. That's you. I hope you backed this, guys. I hope that you did back this, because if you didn't, you're going to be sorry, because it is great. It is great. Take some of your tax refund money, take those Biden bucks, and invest it in Matt Martin. It's a good investment. Invest it in snowy horror, in icy death. It's March and it's still freezing out there, but don't freeze out All Caps Comics. Don't freeze us out of your hearts. Don't do that. We're working hard day and night to earn your business. We're here to warm hearts all over the world. I am the best. Most of these people write updates and they suck. They're like, I'm sorry, but we're like, things are going to be fucked. I don't do that. I'm like, I bring cheerfulness and sunlight and joy into everyone's heart. That's what I do. That's what I do with that's why everybody's like, will you write my updates? Yes, I will. Kyle Ritter's like, will you write my update? Yes, I will write your update. I will write your updates. I will communicate with people on your behalf. I am not Camilla Zong. I am not afraid of customer service. In fact, customer service is my thing. We're sitting there like, we need to fulfill something. We are, right now, we're fully armed. Our battle station is all set up. We're ready to rock and roll, and we're waiting for shit to come in. We're like, we need to fulfill something. That's where we are. I'll talk about that in a minute. Nevertheless, even though we're here to warm hearts all over the world, nevertheless, Matt Martin is slaving away at some of the iciest pages I've ever seen. Check these out. Look at this. There's a boxcar here. These two guys. Holy shit. Just dead, frozen bodies with spicy spikes through them. Decapitations. Who would do this to another human being? Who would do this? What kind of animal would do this to people? By the way, the link for this is in the description. Back this comic book. We need to get this one to 6 figures. We need to get it there. This will be the first 6-figure campaign of the year. And that's the whole thing. It needs to be the first 6-figure campaign of the year. That'll shut them up. Here we go. It'll shut up our critics. Walking towards a boxcar. Oh, my God. You go, how did this happen? How did this happen? When you see this, you're just like, what? And here he is. This is Black Dog, the snowman, the Indian demon. I use the word Indian advisedly. I don't mean East Indian. I mean Native American. Do I mean Native American or do I mean... No, I do. I mean Native American. Beautiful, beautiful detailed artwork. You guys are welcome to go check this out yourself. Take a good close look at it, and you will see why this comic book is absolutely worth your backing dollar. And not only that, it's all caps comics. It's going to be printed. It's going to be distributed by us. We are going to ship this campaign to you. We are going to make these toys, posters and cards and books. We're gonna be the ones to do this. Oh, listen, if we get this campaign to the right situation, we definitely will make toys. I said an absolute masterclass. I'm proud this guy is my pal. And I am, Matt, if you're listening, I'm proud that you're my friend. I am. I know you've been through a lot, pal. I'm really proud of you. I've always been. I've always thought you were great. We're getting closer and closer to our big stretch goal of $100,000. Your books need foil covers, and that's what our $1,000 stretch goal is. Putting beautiful foil covers. Let me make this clear. I don't want any all caps comics project to go out of our warehouse if it is not reflecting back beautiful sunlight into your eyes. I need it to blind you as you open up that Gemini mailer. Sunshine. It needs to look like the briefcase in Pulp Fiction. All of our stuff needs to look like that. It does. Our comic books are the Ark of the Covenant in Raiders of the Lost Ark 2. Those SJW fools. We want to melt their faces off. We want them to go, one of them will explode. Most of them will turn, like their flesh turns milky white and melts off their skulls as they scream. Oh my God, non-soy comics. It is the Ark of the Covenant, all caps comics. Me and you, we're like Indiana Jones. We're like, don't open your eyes. But no, open your eyes. Open your eyes and enjoy Matt Martin's Snowman. We're getting closer and closer to our big stretch goal of $100,000. That's when all of these books are going to be foil. Every single book is going to have a foil cover. These will be highly collectible, highly prized all caps comics books. Your books need foil covers. Once we get there, everyone is getting shiny, beautiful, lustrous covers on their comics. So we need your help. Tell everyone about Snowman: A Cold Day in Hell and back it if you haven't done so yet. It's a beautiful comic and you'll be glad that you did. And then I add this, and it is true. We love you. Each and every one of you. We love you. Ethan Van Sciver, all caps comics publisher. That is my title. It used to be Ethan Van Sciver, freelancer at DC Comics. Now it's Ethan Van Sciver, all caps comics publisher, the company that everyone is looking at right now. Some with love, some with adoration, some with admiration, others with anger and fury. They see this Laughing Man logo and it makes them mad. It makes them mad. I don't know why. I think it's because they feel that the Laughing Man is laughing at them, and he is. But it's a laugh of mirth. It's a laugh of happiness, success, cheer, good cheer. When the Laughing Man laughs at you, if you're an SJW, what he's doing is he's going, you're an idiot. That's okay. Buy my comics anyway. Buy our comics, dummy. That's what he's saying to SJWs. Now to you, he's going, aren't they stupid? Yeah, SJWs suck, man. Their comics suck. Our comics are awesome. So he's laughing in two different ways. He's laughing in two different ways, guys. Make sure to laugh the laugh of mirth. Don't let it become the laugh of hate. Whatever you do, not the bitter laugh of hatred. All right, so we're at $83,215 right now with 1,244 backers. And I do believe that we can do better. I do believe we can do Adrian Stone's posting the Laughing Man. A trolling laugh. Gotta love it. You the man E. Thanks, North Free. Yeah, he's a troll. He's trolling. But at the same time, he's inviting you to troll with him. And that's what it's all about. So back Snowman: A Cold Day in Hell. I will check back. If we can get to 84,000 today, that would be great. Let's move the needle, as it were. Let's move the needle a little bit on Snowman. Remember that hashtag move the needle? You know, it's up to us, guys. You know, it is up to us. Comicsgate is up to us. You know, the success of indie comics, the success or failure of indie comics is up to you and I. It's not up to Matt Martin. It's not up to Mike S. Miller, though. And thank goodness that it isn't. Mike S. Miller proved himself to be a dummy today or yesterday in one of the weirdest series of tweets that I've ever seen. And I thought that I would share them with you. I thought we would go over the Matt. Why do I keep calling him Matt? I want to talk about Matt Martin instead of talking about Mike S. Miller. Mike S. Miller's excited. He says, patience, period, patience. He's got a picture of the Red Rooster book. And it looks like it has a nice foil stamped Order of the Rooster on it. It looks like a nice hardcover here. I can't really tell what it is. Is this like a dust jacket or whatever it is? Whatever it is, I'm getting it. It's coming my way. So I am looking forward to receiving Red Rooster. Now, this is a picture this is not Mike's picture. Mike didn't take this picture. Mitch Breitweiser did. You know, it looks like they've got their proof copies in and things are on the way. Manga Man says, will be nice to eventually get it, but breaking crowdfunding conduct with the whole Walmart thing destroyed the goodwill gained. Backers should have got their physical copies before Walmart got anything. That is true. That's like the nicest possible way to say that. Mitch Breitweiser joined us back in 2018. You know, my idea for Comicsgate, as I watched everything go down in 2017, I began to be attacked in 2017, 2018. And I was attacked with an eye towards destroying my career and blacklisting me from mainstream comics, even though, let me stress this, it would be one thing to just blacklist somebody who doesn't do shit, but I make money. My comics make money. People were enjoying my comics. I have great ideas. I'm a successful, brilliant comic book creator and many other things too. I'm also a very talented musician. Juggle. I can dance. You guys have never seen me get down on the dance floor. But, you know, yeah, it's pretty hype. You know, it's pretty fresh when I dance. What the hell was I talking about? I completely lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah. So they tried to blacklist us. Now, my idea was, look, they're not going to change. This is not about business for them. This is not about capitalism. SJWs are not going to change the way that they're doing what they're doing because they intend to do it. They mean for this to happen. They do not care if the comic book industry dies, as long as it dies preaching social justice. That's fine then. And then they can say, well, people are bigots, or I don't know, just the comic book industry. People just don't like comics anymore, I guess. They're one of those two things. So in any case, you know, we got together. My idea was let's crowdfund stuff. I talked to Zach about it. I had this idea that if we used YouTube to advertise, then we could sell just as many comics or make just as much money as we would have were we working in the mainstream and using their media department to promote our books. Zach and I decided to crowdfund. Zach's first comic book raised $440-something thousand. It was pretty. What was it? What did Zach raise? It was $400-something thousand. It was pretty impressive. Cyberfrog Blood Honey came out and raised 500 and something or other, more than $500,000 for its first outing, and we were off to the races. People were looking at us. I had a retailer call me up and say, "How did you do it? Because this isn't legit." I was like, "No, it's legit. I mean, I know it doesn't seem like it. Making money in comics doesn't seem like it could possibly happen, but it can happen. You just have to build a business with a proper rapport with your customer base, let people know about it, and have a product worth buying. And then you will actually make money." And Cyberfrog, of course, is one of the most legitimately awesome IPs in indie comics, if not in mainstream. I don't know what else is going on in the mainstream that's better than Cyberfrog. I would say nothing. Nothing is better than Cyberfrog. It's really good. And Wreck Planet is excellent. Can't wait till you see it. Anyway, I was told maybe it's a good idea to start promoting other creators who have been blacklisted since you have this platform. And I did. I started promoting other creators who had been blacklisted. And it didn't work out so well. With the exception of John Malin. I had to think about it. It's like I had Mike S. Miller. That was a horrible, disastrous mistake. Doug TenNapel, of course. Exploitative, liar, scam artist. And then Mitch Breitweiser, who I thought, you know, I liked Mitch. I talked to Mitch early on. I remember being scared. I remember being afraid. Let me just put this up again here. I remember being afraid of what we were doing. I remember being nervous about our future. Like, can we make this happen? I mean, we're going to have to fulfill these comic books. That is going to be scary. This is terrible. Mitch had an idea from the very start. Mitch had an idea to build a business and then get, distribution in places like Walmart and Target. And he invited me to be a part of this with him. We were discussing this very excitedly from the very start. This was the plan. Mitch said, look, I've got a whole thing. I got a business set up. I've got business partners. We're going to raise money on our books, and we're going to basically show that money, what we were able to raise to investors. They will quadruple what we raised as an investment in our IPs. And then we are going to get distributed. We're going to get distributed in places other than comic book stores. And I thought this was a pretty good idea. So I came along with it. I used to fly back and forth from Arkansas with the Brightwisers. We would take meetings. We would drive around, and we actually talked to investors for a little while. It wasn't just Walmart. It was wealthy Arkansas businessmen. People who were in the egg business, like farmers. We were taking meetings with them. I used to have video of this. I was going to make a documentary about it, so I was filming all this stuff. But I remember the Brightwiser says, please, don't release that. So I think I deleted those videos. Anyway, we took meetings with Walmart, and we're startled to learn that it just wasn't that hard. I mean, it's like, Walmart, let me pitch to you our comics and why our comics deserve to be in your stores. And we'd have a magazine distributor there. And they would just go, no need. What do you want to do? You want to you want to do it? You want to put our stuff? Yeah, it's no problem. I mean, we just have to come up with you're going to have to sign this agreement, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't hard. Anybody can do this. I know it seems like the impossible dream. The only reason why mainstream comics are not in Walmart right now to a bigger degree, and this is why it's confusing to people. People say, why aren't, the Brightwisers did something really amazing here with the Walmart deal, because other comics aren't in there. DC and Marvel comics, they just have a little bit of shelf space for reprint comics right now. So clearly this is a big deal. It isn't a big deal. The only reason why the Marvel and DC comics are not in Walmart right now is because they have exclusive contracts with Diamond Distribution. Diamond Distribution is a monopoly. And so they're not allowed to be distributed anywhere except in the direct market, which is comic book stores. They've broken away from that. DC Comics spent last year during the beginning of the pandemic and the close down of Diamond Distribution to break out of their exclusive contract. They said, you are not able to distribute us, so we're going to be using other distributors. And that is what they're doing right now. It's a little too late. But we don't have those agreements. We do not have we don't have these agreements. So we can do whatever we want. And if we want to be distributed in Walmart, we can be distributed in Walmart. My ultimate goal, and I will say this out loud here. My ultimate goal for Cyberfrog is the complete collected Cyberfrog book. After I do all 4 issues, maybe 5 issues, to complete the first season of Cyberfrog stories, I want them in Barnes and Noble. That's my goal. I think I can do it. I don't think it's going to be a problem. I would like to see the complete Cyberfrog book for sale in Barnes and Noble. And that to me will feel pretty good. I'm not interested in selling floppies in Walmart or anything like that. I've just changed my mind about that. So anyway, we took all these meetings, and it was very, very interesting. But what the Brightwisers wanted to do was they wanted to pool all of our resources. They wanted to own Cyberfrog. Their company, Allegiance Arts, owns all of their IPs. So if I'm with them, they would own Cyberfrog, and I would get 50% of everything that they have, and they would get 50% of Cyberfrog, and that just didn't seem like something I wanted to do. B. Kenobi, wow, thank you for that huge super chat. Definitely supporting the All Caps Comics books. Can I get a copy in the Philippines? 100%. We will be sending all over the world. He says, also, did you hear the crap Jeremy Quartering is going through? No, I haven't heard anything about Jeremy the Quartering. I'm tired of that dude. He can do whatever he wants to do. Jeremy the Quartering is another one. It's like you give him a little bit of a... everybody's just quick to knife each other in the back for drama. It's ridiculous. So I'm not going to get into Jeremy too much. But in any case, boom, I kind of backed out of the deal. I didn't want to be a part of this because I didn't want to share cyber fraud. And that's the truth. But, I was there. I almost did. I saw the whole thing go down. So here's Mike S. Miller. He is saying now, patience, the Red Rooster book is on its way. I'm glad it's on its way. I'm really glad it's on its way. The problem is that it is not the product that people paid for. That is the problem. And we'll talk about that in a minute. So again, Manga Man says, it'll be nice to eventually get it. But breaking crowdfunding conduct with the whole Walmart thing destroyed the goodwill gain. Backers should have gotten their physical copies before Walmart got anything. And here's Mike. If you want to know who Mike is very similar to Doug Tenafel. This is the skeeviest, dumbest thing. This tweet is a masterpiece. A masterpiece of sliminess. Mike goes, let's be a little realistic here. This is the idea that the idea that you should ship your books to your backers. That's unrealistic. Other factors are at play here. Mike goes, let's be a little realistic here. Crowdfunding is not a long-term business plan. That's funny coming from somebody who's into cryptocurrency. I mean, it's a strange thing. I firmly believe the world is changing. I think it's changing in a lot of ways. Some are good and some are bad. I do believe in cryptocurrency now. I think cryptocurrency is going to do okay. It's going to be a new way of it's a new form of financing. It's going to be interesting. Crowdfunding is not going away either. It's just too effective. It makes too much sense. Crowdfunding will be here for a long time, and it's going to replace investing. It's going to replace a lot of other things like getting investors and things like that. Crowdfunding is a way better system. It's not going to work out for everybody, but it's going to work out for me. It's going to work out for all caps. It's going to work out for anybody who actually produces a good product and fulfills it consistently. Crowdfunding will always work. He says, getting a deal with the largest retailer in the country is. So crowdfunding, not a long-term business plan, but getting a deal with Walmart is a long-term business plan. I seriously think the backers are being a little too precious about McComics when Mitch had an opportunity anyone would take. I don't even think Mitch would agree with this. I think Mitch, okay, let me preface this by saying I think Mike is flailing around and looking for some allies. I think Mike would like to be allies with Mitch. This is dangerous. This is an extremely dangerous thing for Mike to have said because Mike is about to launch a crowdfunder himself. He's launching one this month. All right. Here's the situation. Let me lay this out. There is no reason why the Brightwisers couldn't have taken the Walmart deal and fulfilled their obligations to their backers. It's not an either or. See, Mike is gaslighting here. Mike is saying the Brightwisers were given a choice, and the choice was either fulfill their backers or take the Walmart deal. That was not the choice. The choice was do both of them or do neither of them. Those were the two choices. Don't crowdfund your comics or crowdfund them and fulfill your obligations. You do both of them. When you crowdfunded Red Rooster, they took $200,000 of backers' money. And what they were offering them. And by the way, most of the backers who invested in this probably were just like, I believe in the cause. I think the Brightwisers seem nice. I'm not sure about their book, but their book looks okay. Maybe I'll enjoy it. I'm going to give them my capital. I'm going to give them enough capital to make this product. And they were promised the first appearance of Red Rooster. That's what they were promised. They were promised the first. When you crowdfund something like this, what you were saying is you're getting yours first. You're getting yours first. So when the Brightwisers put Red Rooster in Walmart for $4.95 before they fulfilled the book to their backers, What they did was this. This is now a reprint. This is a reprinted collection of Walmart comics that didn't necessarily sell very well. This is not what the backers were promised. I'm glad it's coming, but this is not what the backers were promised. The backers were promised the first appearance of Red Rooster, the first issue. They were promised that they would get to read it first, and as it turns out, even though they are getting it last. Any knucklehead with $4.95 got to read Red Rooster before they did. When Mike says patience, it is infuriating. Patience, you cucks. Even though you're the ones who allowed this to happen, you are the ones who get to read it last. You are the last consideration. You're the last consideration to the Brightwisers. I hate to say, because I like the Brightwisers, but this is inexcusable and it needs to be clarified. We are not here to screw over backers. We are not here to disappoint them, if it's possible to not disappoint them. We don't want to. We definitely don't want to gaslight them. It's infuriating to be gaslit, especially by a dummy like Mike S. Miller. No, there is no reason to be patient. Patience leads to you get to read the book last. You paid more for it than the Walmart people did. You had to wait longer for it. You get to read it last. And the product that you're shipped is not the product you were promised. You were promised the first appearance of Red Rooster. So Mike mocks you if you gave money to this comic book, and I did. Mike did too, but Mike doesn't give a shit. Mike, this was early on in Comicsgate when Mike was still supporting some of his friends who were also crowdfunding. Mike doesn't care. I'm okay. I gave $700, I think, to Red Rooster. I'm okay with that. I don't mind waiting. But, the backers, they might be upset about this. And Mike is calling you a little too precious about being swindled. Mike is saying you're being whiny. You're being bitches. Mitch had an opportunity anyone would take. First of all, that's not true. I had the same opportunity and I didn't take it. I walked away from it. I'm glad. I'm really glad. Oh, this is so infuriating. Mike is an idiot. He says, I'm honest. Anyone who says that they wouldn't have taken that deal is just lying to you. Mike, I didn't take the deal. I walked away from it. The reason why I walked away from it is not because it wouldn't have been fun to have my comics in Walmart. I walked away from it because they wanted to own Cyberfrog. So I couldn't do that. I was, in my opinion, Cyberfrog is worth more than Red Rooster as an IP. I could be wrong. Maybe Red Rooster is going to become a big box office blockbuster, and I'm going to feel dumb about it that I don't have 50% of it. But I'd still rather have 100% of Cyberfrog than 50% of Red Rooster. Now, here's the thing. I would imagine the last person Mitch wants speaking for him is Mike S. Miller saying shit like this. Let me see the quote tweets here. These are people responding to Mike. What? Being honest, keeping your customers is not a long-term plan, quote unquote. This, my Comicsgate people, is the very definition of a swindler, a charlatan, a grifter. This individual and anyone like him has no place in Comicsgate. Mike would agree with you. If so, then I'm outie. FTFS for the sake. What does T stand for there? Brian Polito, Iron Comics Publishing, the slew of webcomic developers from the 2000s like Penny Arcade, Max Smith of Scurry fame, and multiple creators I'm forgetting all say hi. You could say me too, Rhino. It's clear Smiller wasn't a Red Rooster backer. Well, he might have been. He just doesn't care. He just considered that money lost. It's an investment in being able to fund Lone Star, hang out socially on the platform. So, not a big deal to Mike. That's what I think Mike is going through. Mike is pretending, look, I'm in it with you guys. But Mike is not in it with you. Mike considers his investment having already paid off. He might have backed Red Rooster, but he backed it for the purpose of appearances so that he could be a part of the social club that was funding comics in 2018, 2019. A little Bible lingo. A good name is more desirable than riches. To be esteemed is better than silver or gold. So, says Drew Williams. Hey, Drew. Good job. Cassidy Michael. This is why I'll never back his campaign. Fuck the customers. Nice business model. Go fuck yourself. It's just like Mike V. Like, you're too precious about getting what you paid for. Why don't you put yourself in Mitch's shoes? He had an opportunity anyone would take. Nasser says the absolute worst take. By the way, Nasser said this, and Nasser has a DM room so that he can do his show. Nasser just assigned all of us to be in his DM room so he can put the link out there. And if we want to come on Nasser's YouTube show, I've been on his show a couple of times. We can. Mike left it this morning. Mike saw the Mike left. Mike S. Miller has left. That's great. That's great. No criticism allowed. Mike should apologize for this. Tank Ferret says, the great Tank Ferret. Talk about bad takes, justifying the betrayal of baseline investors, backers. Good luck funding your next book. Or have you a business model to attract an angel investor yet? Looking at your figures, I'd say not. My integrity isn't for sale. And here's me. I got to do a live stream picking this insane tweet apart piece by piece. Every adverb, every adjective is hilariously stupid and evil. And it is. Hold on. Let's look at this again. Let me go back. I hope Mike didn't block me while I'm doing this. He does that sometimes. Let's be a little realistic here. Every word of this is like condescending and stupid. Let's be a little realistic here. Crowdfunding is not a long-term business plan. You don't know that. Crowdfunding is simply, we have these platforms on the internet that basically say, hey, we're taking pre-orders. We're trying to establish how popular this item, this comic that we want to make is going to be. We're taking pre-orders. Do you have faith in us? Do you like this comic book? Do you want to be a part of this? It's fun. It makes sense. It is not any different than getting investors, but you get to be an investor. You get to invest yourself in the success or sadly failure of a comic book. You get to be a producer, like a movie producer of a comic. It's going to be here for a long time. Getting a deal with the largest retailer in the country it isn't. That is not a long-term plan. That is just a place to put your comic. It's a place to put your book. Are people going to buy it? Because if they don't, your comics are returnable. And this is the bad thing about this deal. This is what terrifies me. Terrified me then. It terrifies me now. I don't know. I haven't asked anyone to find out how this is going. But at Walmart, if your books don't sell, they're returnable. The first thing that Walmart will do is discount them. And Walmart did discount them. They put 50-cent stickers on the first batch of these books. And if they do not sell at 50 cents, Walmart is going to send you back all of the books in whatever condition they're in, and they're going to get their money back. You have to buy them back. They're returnable. So it's not that great of a deal. It's scary. If you're lucky, if your book is extremely popular and everybody wants to buy it, you're going to do very well. But it isn't. It's a risk. Everything is a risk with business. Everything's a risk. He says, this is the adverb in question that I think is funny. Do you really seriously think the backers are being a little too precious? To this degree, a little too precious? You guys are effeminate children, essentially, about comics, making fun of your demands to get what you paid for. Comics. This is not, comics is not, this is, when you use the phrase it's about some principled stand that you're taking that is silly. Comics is not a principled stand. It's like saying, I ordered a pizza. Where's my pizza? No, where's my pizza? It's my comics, my pizza. Where is my pizza? I ordered it. I paid for it. It should be here. Pretending like somebody has no right or it's silly to ask or demand or be upset that what they purchased did not arrive is evil and stupid. It's Mike. When Mitch had an opportunity anyone would take, Mitch made the opportunity for himself. Let me scroll down a little bit here. Anyone who says they wouldn't have taken that deal is just lying to you. Mitch sought the deal. I was there. This deal was not just presented to Mitch. He sought it. He sought it out. This was a what it says. Well, Red says, I couldn't agree more. Well, Red, what are you talking about? What on earth are you talking about? You're getting your comic. Are you refusing to support any creator that is late, or is there a particular lateness that you won't abide? Is there a sliding scale based on how much you like their YouTube content? Just want to know the rules. No, Mike. No. That is not the case. Lateness is one thing. People can be late. It's going to happen. It's hard. Actually, producing and fulfilling a comic book is hard. The backers must know that they are first and foremost in the consideration of the person who has taken their money. If you're late, you're late. It happens. They need to see progress, and they need to know that they are first and foremost. The Brightwisers made a choice. They chose to put the backers second. Second, they put themselves first. Can't do that. You have their money. You need to get the book done. You need to send it to them. You can do the Walmart deal too. Do the Walmart deal. Get your book done first. Send it to the backers. Then go ahead and send reprints of Red Rooster to Walmart. Send the backers the first edition. Send the retailers, or send the Walmart retailers reprints. God, Mike is such a liar. It's like, I mean, he is he's either a liar or he's stupid. It's one of the two. Good morning, Hunter. How are you? One of the two, liar or stupid. You can take your pick. Yeah. Mike is saying the Walmart deal itself is what I'm defending. That's fine. No, I mean, this is the thing. Mike is trying to gaslight people again. The Walmart deal is fine. What is not fine is not fulfilling your comic book and sending your comic book that the backers paid for to the backers first. You can do both. They didn't do both. They're only now doing the backer part 2 years, 3 years late. And they're sending them a product that's a reprinted collection of stuff that people already got at Walmart if they wanted it. It's absolutely insane. Let me see. Okay, I think Mike's stupid. Most liars are smart, says McAdams. He's both a liar and stupid. Stop thinking, Ethan. It could kill you. Yeah. Billy Tucci's here. Billy Tucci, my brother. Billy Tucci's my hero. Where's Billy Tucci? Good morning, Hunter, people are saying.
Father, would you like a breakfast sandwich?
No, thank you. Appreciate the offer, but no, thank you. Tell my boy Hunter I said hello, says Billy Tucci.
What's up, Billy?
Hunter says, what's up, Billy? Nasser Rabadi says, my books were in Walmart since 2017. I never had to screw over my supporters to do it. Again, it's not hard to be in Walmart. You just have to ask. You can be anywhere that you want to be. You can get your books. You can put them wherever you want. Ronald Shaw says, speaking from a consumer standpoint, I would be pissed. Not just because I'm not getting what I paid for, but I take shit personally. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Tank Ferret says, lateness anger is a non-linear scale mitigated by communication with the backers and the overall quality of the product promised. I think Red Rooster is going to be a great looking book. But it isn't what people paid for. It's just unforgivable to be put second. It's like the reason why it was crowdfunded the way it was how much can we raise so that we can show investors how this is the same thing it's the same goddamn thing that Doug TenNapel did. It's the same thing. It's like, well, what is the purpose of what you're doing? And it's like the thing itself is not the purpose of what you're doing. Why can't the comic book itself be what you're doing? Cyberfrog is what I'm doing. It's what there's nothing beyond this. If something else happens and I'm able to make a video game or a movie or whatever it is, that's great. But that's not why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm doing it to make a Cyberfrog comic book. All of my energy is going into making a Cyberfrog comic book. And that's it. There's nothing beyond that. I'm not leveraging this into something else. You've got Doug TenNapel doing Bigfoot Bill, so that taking your money for Bigfoot Bill, saying he's Comicsgate, lying so that he could he can get this Earthworm Jim license, and then insulting you and telling you he's no longer allowed to associate with radicals. It's insane. I don't know why anybody puts up with this. You got the Brayweisers who were crowdfunding Red Rooster for the purpose of figuring out how much money their IP is worth to investors so that they could be in Walmart and launch an IP farm called Allegiance Arts. Just mean what you say. Do what you say. Mean what you say and do what you say. That would be good. I would appreciate that. So, Mike. I mean, it's like Mike is an endless source of delight for me. I got to say. I am deeply amused by Mike, but also, the attitude is infuriating. Why? Why would you talk like that? Why would you say things like that? All right, we have a little problem here, and I want to stare at it for a little while, talk about it, try to figure out why this happened. I'm deeply concerned about it. I got to be honest with you. It does bother me. Here it is. This is obviously a toad, the impression of a toad. And somehow this toad ended up just an imprint in the sidewalk. This guy says something terrible happened here. I agree. What happened? And I stared at this for a long time. How did this toad get overlooked and paved over like this? I don't understand it. I want you to stare at this with me, and I want you to say, how could this have happened? I mean, it's possible. First of all, his legs are extended. So that it's not like he was asleep. A toad's legs are extended when he's swimming or dead. So the good news is probably... What do you guys think? How did he end up in the cement? Yeah. Yes, I know the music is on, guys. We're bringing back the theme music. All right, so what I think happened is the toad fell into the wet cement while it was in the cement mixer, and he died in the cement. And then they poured the cement. That's the only thing that it could have been. He was already dead. Yeah. Yeah. All right. It's just I stared at that for a long time and was trying to work it out. Didn't make me happy at all. It's street art, says Michael Bancroft. You think so? That's very limited street art. It's just you're meant to just stop and look at it and say, whoa, it could be Frog's suicide. It's possible. Yeah, it could be a crime. It's definitely a crime scene. The hairball says, that's not how cement works. LOL. How does it work? I don't understand. Used to work at a concrete company. Shite job, says North Free. Well, you tell me then. I would like to know. Yeah, what if someone is good, very good at carving frog outlines? Yeah, but for what purpose? Why would they? Do you think that's what it is? Yeah, I don't understand. It could be Smiller's driveway. Mike, of course, is into killing frogs. Absolutely terrible. Hey, so yesterday we was it yesterday or was it 2 days ago? Might have been 2 days ago. We launched this special thing that we were doing. We decided to try to clear out our warehouse a little bit and do the Cyberfrog 48-hour special deals. And the reason why is because we had to move all of the crates of books to the warehouse, and we realized we need to make room. And my attitude is that if we have 400 copies of each one of these books, that's great, because when Wreck Planet comes out, and then when Cyberfrog 3 Red Extermination comes out, people are going to be like, hey, I want a first printing of Blood Honey. Where do I get a first printing of Blood Honey? And I'm going to have to say Walmart. No, I'm not going to say Walmart. I'm going to say, oh, I've got them here. We have plenty of them. And that's neat if I have infinite storage space. But you guys have seen my warehouse. I don't I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, my God. I've got the beanies coming for warts and all. The beanies are showing up. They're coming here to the house. They're showing up on the 10th. So what's today? The 6th. Sunday's the 7th. Monday, 8th, Wednesday. So they're going to be here Wednesday. We're going to begin shipping the beanies out. And then the week after that, the hoodies are going to be here, from what I'm told. So they said it's 59 crates of stuff. That's just the merch of the apparel. The hell, dude? What the hell? 59? What does that look like? What does that look like? So anyway, we gotta get rid of stuff, and that's gonna be one of the things. We've got a bunch of books here. If you buy this deal, the $60, it looks like we've sold. We only have 38 left, and if you purchase this deal at $60, you'll have one of everything. Essentially, you're gonna get 3 different variant covers of Blood Honey, the line art variants. You're going to get 1998, The Diary of Heather Swain. People have said that this book is even better than Blood Honey, than Diary of Heather Swain. I agree. I read it again. I said, this is really good. I enjoyed reading this. And then I said, oh, I wrote it. I enjoyed writing it too. You will receive Amphibionics, which is a lot of fun. This is Amphibionics #1 might be the best issue of Cyberfrog from the 90s. It's the one that I wanted to reprint first because it's actually kind of funny, and it's a good time. You'll read it and you'll be like, ha, that Ethan's a silly bastard. He really is. I wish I could give him a slap across his jowls and then a kiss on the cheek. What? That guy just makes me laugh. That's what you'll say when you read Amphibionics. And then you'll also get this Wrecked Planet Ashcan preview. And this is great. It's a nice foil cover. It's got an exclusive Jay Lee cover on it. Jay Lee cover art that isn't going to be used anywhere else. This is just exclusive to this Ashcan preview. The eBay link is in the description, by the way. So, you can, just for people want to know. And then you're going to get stickers too. I told Andrew, I said, we've got to get these all caps comic stickers out to people. I want them on people's cars. I want them on people's motorcycles. I want them on people's big wheels, tricycles and four-wheelers, quad runners. I want them on people's guitars. I want them on people's drum kits. I want them on the front of your house. I don't know. All Caps Comics, a glittery sticker will come with your order, as well as this beautiful Rainbow the Brute prismatic sticker, free bonuses with your order. And we will ship these to you right away. The reason why we're doing this is A, to make room, and B, because we're all ready to go. And we really wanted to flex those fulfillment muscles. So we've got, oh, by the way, all of these books are signed. All of them are signed. For the first time, they're signed. Some of them I've never offered a signed copy before, but all 6 books will be signed by me. I had to sign them all yesterday. It was great. So make sure that, you get one of these. I might extend it for a little while longer. I might make it a 72-hour special deal because they did really, really well. We sold 162 of these. 162 copies. 166. We sold a lot of these special deals, and it's no wonder. I mean, $60. This row would be $60. This row would be $60. So obviously it's like 50% off, and it's the lowest price I think that Blood Honey's ever been offered at. I think it's the lowest price. So this is a good opportunity. But we'll leave it up for a little while and let people take advantage of it, because we've only cleared out, I think we cleared out 2 crates of each box. So 12 crates. We moved 12 boxes of stuff. That's not enough. We need to move more. So that's what we're going to do. Also, if you go to our eBay store, let me see sellers' other items here. If you go to our eBay store, you'll notice something spectacular. One, wow, Blood Honey Team Up. We sold 101 of those. Jesus, I appreciate the 48-hour deal, but like everything's selling. We have sketch cards that are available for the first time. These sketch cards were made because we were going to do the trading card set in a different way. We were going to try to sell packets of cards, but it just seemed like you guys, it wasn't going to work out. I don't know. It wasn't going to be it didn't make sense to me. So we're not going to do packs of cards. We're going to do cards individually and as bonuses with campaigns. We just think that's the right way to do it. But when we were planning this, me and Andrea assigned out a ton of sketch cards to people. We made blank sketch cards, and then we sent them out to all of the artists in Comicsgate, and they did some great stuff. I mean, EJ Morgis's sketch cards, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. This is a trading card. He hand drew this. He hand drew this entire thing on a trading card. This mockery of a Todd McFarlane Spider-Man cover. It's a little tiny trading card here, hand-drawn artwork. These are all originals. So we've got, I think this is a triptych. Oh man, EJ is so good. EJ is so good. We got a triptych here of 3 trading cards that go together. Here's Heather Swain and Salamandroid. One-of-a-kind artwork by EJ Morgis, who was drawing Heartsick Horror. I think he's one of the best Cyberfrog artists. There are quite a few good art. Look at her boobies. He did a good job on those boobies. There are quite a few good Cyberfrog artists in Comicsgate, but EJ is just like, he gets it. Like, he really does just get it. So there are a few. They're selling pretty quickly, but there are a few left. And then Andrew Huerta is showing up here. Andrew Huerta's cards were also absolutely unbelievable. I only put 3 up so far, but look at this Salamandroid. Just beautiful. Beautiful work. All right, so, and here we have some Mike S. Miller cards. Did I sell any Mike cards yet? No, didn't sell any Mike cards. Sold almost all of EJ Morgis's cards. By the way, look at this. This is Bro White. EJ Morgis drew Bro White. He looks like me a little. Bro White. And the 7, well, at least one little biatch here feeding him Cheetos. Oh, there's another one that he's using as a footrest down here. Pounding Cyberfrog on the head. I can't believe how good this is. It's just a little tiny trading card. Hand-lettered cheater. Cheetos flying everywhere. Yeah, so these limited sketch cards available now. I mean, one of a kind. When you start collecting Cyberfrog cards, the sketch cards are going to be one of a kind, and you're going to be glad that you have a couple of those in your binder, in your trading card binder. This is really good too. Oh, they're so good. EJ, you're really good, pal. I love looking at your artwork. Got a nice Rumblebee here. Vespa's card. Heather Swain kissing Cyberfrog on the head. Oh, look at the beautiful colors and everything. Again, this is just a one-of-a-kind work of art. Drawn so tiny. I feel like EJ draws with a jeweler's loop when he draws these cards. I don't know how he does it. But I mean, if you buy this, you're the only one who has that image. It is yours and yours exclusively. Here's a nice headshot of Cyberfrog as well. I don't know how he does it. I wish he would do more of it, though. Come on, EJ. Let's go. Let's get Heartsick Horror done, pal. We can do it. 172 of them sold. Only 28 more available. I have another 100 that I can sell if these sell out. But yeah, make sure that you got one. All right, let me take a look at Snowman, A Cold Day in Hell. Did anybody back Snowman? Yes, they did. We got 5 new backers on Snowman, A Cold Day in Hell. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. We're pushing Snowman, A Cold Day Hell towards 6 figures. I believe that we can do it. And 3D Robin says, EJ's great, but he has a full-time job. Give him a break, EVS. I'm paying him so well. Like all right, 3D Robin, you know that I pay well. I pay EJ great. He should quit his job and just work for me full-time. No, don't. I can't afford you yet. I will soon. Soon I'll be able to afford you. Snowman, A Cold Day in Hell. All Caps Comics presents the return of Matthew Martin's 90s smash indie comics hit. Damn, it's cool. So cool. Thank you guys. 5 new backers. We are pushing this towards 6 figures. People have said they have noticed, and much to our shame, we should be alarmed by this. No Comicsgate project has hit 6 figures yet in the year 2021. And to be fair, we're only 2 months and a few days in. To be fair, I haven't launched anything. Not really. I mean, I haven't launched a Cyberfrog book, and Cyberfrog 3 is probably going to get launched this year. Cyberfrog action figures are going to get launched this year. Blood Honey box is going to get launched this year. I don't think that's going to get to 6 figures, though. But in any case, this is the closest campaign, $83,505, launched in January. Let's get this. I guess it wasn't launched in January. It's probably launched in December. Does this count? Maybe this doesn't even count. Maybe it doesn't count because it was launched in December. All right. Still, it doesn't matter. Back Snowman, A Cold Day in Hell. Let's get this one to 6 figures. Speaking of 6 figures, this was me going over the all of the stuff from Starblades. Just to keep you guys updated, Starblades Volume 1 from Kyle Ritter. Now, this book is late. I don't know why it's late. I don't understand it. The book is finished. It's been finished, I guess, for a little while. I think Kyle might have just panicked about the actually getting it, to the printer, getting it fulfilled. I think he probably just had a little bit of a short fuse there. But he has turned it over to All Caps Comics. We are proudly publishing Starblades Volume 1. And yesterday I did all of the orders. We're trying to figure out what we're going to do here. I made notes. So here's what we've got for Starblades. The main cover sold extraordinarily well. Everybody bought the main cover. But Kyle has 10 different variant covers here. He has 10 different variant covers. So the main cover, we're going to order 3,200 copies of that. And we are doing, we're going to be doing foil logos on the main cover. So it's going to say Starblades in gold foil embossed, maybe raised up off the surface. Got to see what our options are. I know how much money I have to spend on each one of these comics. I got to make sure that it looks beautiful. 678 of them are signed by Kyle Ritter. So we got to have Kyle drive up to my house. That's going to be fun. Kyle staying over. Let's see. Women of Starblades cover. Women of Starblades. Why did we do all this? This is the whole thing. Like, when we do Starblades 2, and we will do Starblades 2, I'm going to monitor this. I'm going to help build this campaign because none of this makes any sense. Women of Starblades, 266 copies, right? But they're also part of, I Want One of Everything. We're ordering 600 copies of Women of Starblades. So this is going to be a super limited cover, 600 copies. We've got a little wiggle room here. I don't want to print too many of them. Heroes cover, we're printing 600 of them. Villains cover, we're printing 600 of them. You get both of them for $50. They're wraparound covers. All of these will have foil embossed logos. That's going to be a thing. Starblade Spirit covers. This is crazy right here. These are. I don't think Kyle explained what this is. He's got 6 different covers here. They all go together like this. So it's $120. These are 6 comic books. I'm ordering 300 of each of them because it's like 19 of them were claimed here, 187 here, 3 here, 15 here because 5 of everything. So I'm ordering 300 copies of each of the Starblade Spirit covers. These are going to be the rare ones. They're not going to have foil logos on them. In fact, they don't have logos on them at all. They might have a logo on the back, but on the front there is no logo. And they're just going to be the books that'll go together as a, 6 covers, not a triptych, a hextych, I guess it would be called. Yeah, we could have done this better. I wish I had helped build this campaign, but we're sending these off to be priced. We're gonna have like 3 different printers to choose from. I'm gonna choose the best printer that we can, the most cost effective, and the one that can give us the best result. 96 pages with a spine. These are big books. 96 pages with a spine. Perfect bound. So we're going to get that done this week. I will keep you guys updated. Starblades is one of the most beautiful comics I've ever seen in my life. It really is amazing. Kyle is better than 95% of the artists working in Marvel and DC. I say that unreservedly. That is absolutely true. He's definitely better than Mike S. Miller. He's better than everyone, really, except for me. But nobody's better than me. It's just nobody, You got to maintain that self-confidence or you'll crumble. Starblades Volume 1. Back at today. We are going to be shipping it fairly soon. I mean, I'm saying like 3 months. Within 3 months, we'll ship it. Like I said, we're getting it priced. The book is pretty much put together. We've just got to make the file, and then we'll send it off to the printer. Kyle sent us the money, so we're able to pay the printing fee, and we're going to be able to fulfill it for him. I can't wait to fulfill this. Cyberfrog 2 Wrecked Planet, doing great. Just doing great, guys. Thanks for 3 more backers over the course of this stream. Thank you so much for that. You guys are going to be so happy with this campaign. I think this is going to be the best campaign that's, on Indiegogo. It's not like we're going to make any money from it, but it's going to be. Andrea's like, when you see how much it costs. Somebody hit me up today and said, I looked at your Salamandroid toy and it looks great, but it says it's $20 shipping. I was like, yeah, I know, and I don't think. I was like, yeah, I know, it's crazy, right? And he's like, yeah, that's a lot. I'm like, no, it's like, it isn't a lot. We got to ship this Salamandroid toy. This weighs 4 pounds. We got to ship this all over the place in a big crate. $20. Andrea goes, when you see what it costs to ship a Salamandroid toy to England, you're gonna die. And I was like, well, I've had a good run, We don't care. We just want this campaign to be fun. We want people to get it and love it and back Cyberfrog 3. All of our campaigns are going to be this way. It looks like we're getting rich. We're doing good. You guys are taking good care of us. But no, we are not getting, we're not totally getting rich here. What we're trying to do is we're trying to build our label up. We're trying to make Cyberfrog into a household word. People will know Cyberfrog. People will know that Cyberfrog campaigns are the best campaigns to fund. You're definitely going to want to back every single Cyberfrog campaign because we make it worth it. We make it fun. When you get this book, you're going to be happy. And by the way, I want to see reviews. When you read this book, I want you to review it because I think it's good. I think you're going to like it. Rainbow the Brute is this is going to be a good campaign for us. We're we've got this one moving a little bit slower than the other ones because I'm focused on Cyberfrog. As soon as Cyberfrog is finished, I'm pouring all of my energy into Rainbow the Brute. You're going to see new art. You're going to see what the lunchbox looks like. You're going to see what the thermos looks like. You're going to see all of this stuff. And then I'm going to be promoting Rainbow the Brute full time as we go into fulfillment for that towards the end of the year. And then we're going to launch Cyberfrog 3. So that's going to be fun. Trent Kanuga's Creed Reimaginary 1 and 2. Trent today was good enough to... Oh, thank you for backing Trent. By the way, Trent Kanuga's Creed, 11 days left, $50,600. This is another contender for a 6-figure campaign, and this one did launch in 2021. Let me show you something here. Let me find it real quick. I don't think Trent will mind me showing you this. He's a nice enough guy. All right. Let me open this in a new tab. Do I do that or do I just download it? I just download it here. Okay, that's fine. The original Cyberfrog versus Creed. We're reprinting it. We're calling it Unforgettable Tales #4. And we're going to be putting it in this campaign. He's doing a cover. I'm doing a cover. It's going to be great. It's only $15 for these books. We're keeping our Unforgettable Tales books kind of low in price, even though the quality, as you guys know, is through the roof. I mean, it really is great. Here's Trent's cover. Look at this. Yes. Trent Kanuga. Balls out 21. This is freaking awesome. Trent penciled this, he inked it, he colored it, and it's kind of a rehash of his original cover, which is what I'm going to do too. I'm going to redraw, the original cover that I did for Cyberfrog Creed, but kind of soup it up a little bit. This looks great. Trent, the only thing I need to do is I'm going to give you the Unforgettable Tales logo, so you can put Unforgettable Tales #4 somewhere. Maybe even along the bottom. That'd be fine, But yeah, I mean, this looks bad ass. I'm going to be adding it to the campaign so that people can see it. Where do you buy this? Well, where do you purchase this particular cover? It's pretty easy. Let me see here. Stop share. No, share. Right here, guys. This is where you go. Trent Kanuga cover. New cover. Now, this is the old cover that he's tributing here. He redrew this cover. New Trent Kanuga cover, color interiors. We're taking this book that used to be in black and white. We are having it recolored. We're representing it as Cyberfrog Unforgettable Tales #4. I'm doing a new cover. This is my original cover. I'm going to be redoing this. Trent is doing a new cover. $15. $15 to get a copy of it. If you're a Cyberfrog collector, you're not going to want to miss it. And by the way, if you love Creed, or if you just want a great looking fantasy comic done by somebody who is an absolute maestro, just a complete and total master of design, somebody who has worked for all of the big video game companies. Look at this guy right here. He's worked on World of Warcraft, League of Legends, Fortnite, Overwatch, and Diablo 3. He is well known in the video game industry, and before that, he was in comics with me. This is my other partner in crime from the Hall of Heroes days. So I have to tell you, back Creed Reimaginary. Get this: 2 big fat 60-page books, and you will get them for $40. $40 for 2 big books. They're going to look great. They're going to have the all caps comics logo on them. I feel like putting some of this art in my office too. Trent also reached out to me and said about original art, like maybe we'll put some original art on the All Caps Comics eBay page. Maybe we'll do that too. I don't know. I got to talk to him about how that would work out, but you can get it here. You can pre-order some of the original art here. It's all beautiful. It's all incredibly well done. Here's his video.
New from All Caps Comics. Wait, what? Creed Reimaginary. Desperate for material for his new comic and to escape the dread of high school life, 17-year-old comic book creator Mark Farley returns to the dream world once more, only to find that in his absence, a mysterious entity has plunged the world of dreams into despair and darkness. Bands of marauding skeezicks scour the land, enslaving its inhabitants and forcing them to dig for the Dreamstone, a relic which grants the ultimate power of creation and destruction. Creed Reimaginary. Back it today only on Indiegogo.
Back it today on Indiegogo, everyone. I love it. Yes, I do love it. It's awesome. Just totally awesome. All right, let me see what you guys are doing, and then we're going to get into the article. I've actually got 2 articles that I could be reading. This could be a long live stream. I could just keep talking to you guys all day. I don't know. But let me see what you guys are saying. Wait, what? Here we go. I hear Ethan Day big and fat, and I think he's talking about himself. Sometimes I don't. I mean, I love you guys, and I try to understand you, but I don't always understand what you're talking about. Not always. Let me see. Haha, does every campaign have a catchphrase now? It should. It should have one. If you can come up with a cool catchphrase, like, did I do that? then you're on your way. That's what you need. JP Third says that art is awesome. Yeah, Trent's really, really good. Cover Camilla EVS. Not well, sort of. We're gonna do the Whisper Network article, but the other article that we have to do is racist trolls may think they own Star Wars, but the saga's diversity issues are not cut and dried. These people are, excuse my language, retarded. I use that phrase advisedly. I don't want to use that phrase, but they are. I mean, that is extremely stupid. F you. You know, I would say to the person who wrote that article, I would say F you. You know, am I allowed to say that on my own show? Am I allowed to say F you to people? I think so. I think I am. All right. Let me also let me look at the super chats here and get caught up with that. We got just so much stuff going on. All Caps Comics just kicks ass. Comic Artist Pro Secrets. That's what All Caps stands for. People are like, why did you call it All Caps Comics? Because CAPS stands for Comic Artist Pro Secrets. All Caps Comics. Isn't that clever? 200 Watt Studio says, aren't you glad you didn't hire a Kickstarter campaign manager who quits before fulfillment? Oh, yeah. Thank you for $5 for that. You know, Camilla Zong, we talked about this when it happened, but we had a little private meeting. She wanted to have a summit meeting with me. I am the head of the evil Comicsgate organization to her. So she needed to have a sit down because she needed to see if she could get Comicsgate out of her way as she applied her grift. She looked like she was going to cry. She's like, you're not recording this, are you? And I said, no, I'm not recording this. And I showed her that it didn't say record. I turned my camera around. Actually, first she's like, could you turn your camera on? Could I see you? Because I was just going to give her the laughing man. It's pretty intimidating. Like, imagine this: you're trying to have a conversation with me, and it's just, you know, this is how I'm talking to you. You know, it's kind of, you want to see how silly I look. You know, that puts you at ease. But yeah, she was just, she was like, what, you know, you guys are calling me the leftist commissar Kickstarter and blah, blah, blah. And she had a lot of, she was crying. And I said, I see what you're doing. You know, you want to do for SJWs what you think I'm doing for Comicsgate. I was like, Camilla, I don't take anything from these people. You know, when I promote their campaigns, I do it out of the goodness of my heart and soul. I don't take anything from them. I'm not trying to profit from any of them. Now I am. Now I'm profiting from Kyle, Matt, and Trent. But that's different. The part of All Caps Comics. I'm not trying to profit from the people that I promote. I want them to succeed. I see what you're doing. You want to attach yourself to other people's campaigns and take a percentage to be the face, I guess, the voice, the face, the promoter of their campaigns. Good luck to you. And she said, well, what do I have to do to get you guys to back down? And I'm just like, just stop being a shithead. You know what? I mean, this is the thing. Like, we don't really want to talk about SJWs. We don't really want to. It's not something that we really want to do. SJWs shouldn't be a problem for us, but they are because they are in our way constantly. Just stay out of our way. Stop talking shit. And you shouldn't have a problem. Stop being stupid. You won't have a problem. We don't care what you guys are doing. We mostly just don't care. And left it at that. And it turns out, yeah, like what she was trying to do was pretty amazing. She attached herself to a lot of creators who were launching campaigns on Kickstarter, and she said, "Yeah, I'm going to be your spokesperson. I'm going to be your your representative for these campaigns." And the whole thing about it was definitely like an extortion racket of sorts. The other thing that they did was they complained when Boom Studios launched Berserker with Keanu Reeves and made a ton of money on Kickstarter. These people do not understand. Like, SJWs are, they think Kickstarter is their begging street corner. Kickstarter is to them, it's their ghetto. It's where they live. It's where SJWs live to fund comic books that nobody wants, and they want it to stay that way. They don't want people who can actually create a marketable product. Like you see, Power Rangers books show up on Kickstarter and make a ton of money, and they're like, that money was meant to go to us. You could have gotten your book. You have the resources to fund and to make your Power Rangers comic. Why are you here on our street corner? And it's absolutely absurd. It is crazy the way these people think. So Kickstarter is meant to be a ghetto for creators who have unsellable, unmarketable bullshit product to fund their dumb campaigns. And then it's as if Keanu Reeves shows up in your ghetto and begins gentrifying it, as they would say. He's gentrifying our ghetto. He set up a big multiplex right on the street corner where we sell each other crack cocaine and drugs. And he's selling tickets hand over fist to go see Berserker, the new Keanu Reeves comic book / movie. Maybe it'll be a movie. This is, of course, a metaphor. So you've got Boom Studios setting up a multiplex, selling comics through Kickstarter that people actually want to buy. And then you've got idiots like Joe Glass who are out there going, that money should have come to me. That money was never coming to you. And I say this to everyone who has this same stupid complaint. Berserker is an enormous property. It's what people want. People want. They're actually volunteering to pay to get a copy of Berserker. They want it. They think it's going to be good. Joe Glass, you are a bum. You are a stinky, smelly bum squatting in your own filth and shit in front of the multiplex with a cup or a guitar case. And every now and then, some hipster will walk by and throw $2 into your guitar case. Do not mistake that. Do not mistake that for support. You are a beggar. Do not think that the money that went to Keanu Reeves would have ever gone into your guitar case. That's ridiculous. You are a stinky bum. A stinky, smelly bum who is gay. And that is just the way it is. Now, the way that you will get funded, the way that your books will get funded is if you extort people, if you threaten them, if you beg and cry, if you very subtly reach out to people and say, hey, if you don't fund my comic book, Comicsgate's going to win. If my comic book doesn't get funded, Comicsgate's going to win. And then suddenly, gigantic donations of maybe $2,000 will show up in your campaign at the very end of the campaign. Maybe that'll happen 2 times. Maybe that'll happen 3 times. And maybe that'll get your terrible, terrible looking comic book funded. Maybe that will happen. It's possible. In fact, it's probable. This is what these people do. They have no talent, no talents at all, except to make a racket and make noise and make people feel uncomfortable and like they're going to be in trouble if they don't support these petulant, silly social justice warriors. So what happened? They reached out to Boom Studios, these mobbers, these mobsters. They reached out to Boom Studios and they said, hey, we see that you were funding your comic book in our ghetto. You understand that this is our turf. You understand you build a multiplex. You're gentrifying our hellhole. You're making it, you're making product that people want to buy. Fewer beggars, fewer people, fewer charitable donations are going to our comic books because of you. So here's the thing. We're not good at making comics, but one thing that we are good at is making trouble. We have allies in the pop culture media. We have allies all over the place. And we will write terrible articles about how you are hurting women. You are hurting women. You are hurting trans people. And you are hurting homosexuals. Like Joe Glass. Like Joe Glass. You're hurting homosexuals like Joe Glass. This microphone's big and in the way. I cannot gesticulate the way that I want to. How embarrassing. And so they say, well, what can I do? What can I do so that you do not bother me? And they say, what you can do is you can start donating your money, some of this money that you're making in our ghetto, to some of these unworkable, unwantable campaigns. And if you do that, then we'll leave you alone. And so Boom Studios amazingly goes, what do you want? You want $100 allocated to... That's what they swear to God, this is true. Boom Studios took money from their own pockets, and just to silence these beggars, just to silence these bums. I mean, they're just squatters. They're just stinky people declaring squatters' rights over Kickstarter. What do I have to do? You want $100 in which guitar cases? Which cups do I put? Which pencil cups do I stick $100 in to shut you the fuck up? And they give them a list, and that's what Boom Studios does. And Boom Studios goes, this is just the cost of doing business in the era of social justice. It doesn't cost very much. In other words, it's like, okay, so we got to donate $100 to 100 different campaigns. Let's do the math. That's $10,000. $10,000 is going to shut you guys up. That's what it costs. You bums, you stinky bums. $10,000. Any one of our campaigns, any one of our Comicsgate campaigns will earn $10,000. Pretty sure. Pretty sure all of them are going to break $10,000 fairly easily. They want $10,000 distributed over 100 different campaigns. Oh my God. They're such losers. But that's what it is. It's protection money. They just don't know what money's worth. They don't know what they can ask. They could ask for much more. And I recommend that you guys do. SJWs, I recommend that you go ahead and blackmail Boom Studios for even more money. Why stop at just 100 times 100? 1,000 times 1,000. They've got it. You're watching them make it. You're watching them pull it out of your ghetto. It would have gone into your silver cups. It would have gone into your guitar cases. Think of all of the campaigns. Think of all the comic books about homosexuality that you could get funded if you just robbed Boom Studios. If you just threatened them. If you just applied your protection racket a little bit more skillfully. And that's what's going on. That is what's going on right now. It is astonishing. Now, one of Camilla Zong's things was just to tell people, hey, I'm going to be in charge of your campaign for a percentage of it. And Zach was dying because Camilla walked away from she's like, Camilla quit. She quit Scott Snyder's successful Nocterra campaign. Nocterra campaign. She was supposed to be the spokesperson for it. All she wanted to do was write little essays and updates in their campaigns and just basically take a percentage for that. What was Scott Snyder paying her for? Scott Snyder should have known. You're paying me so that I hold back the SJW horde. And by the way, that is exactly how they think. We remember the Mark Waid situation when Mark Waid was threatening. What company was that? Antarctic Press. Remember when Mark Waid called Antarctic Press and said there's a horde of angry soy-based retards who all want to descend on your company and give you hell. And I am standing between, it's me standing in the way of these lunatics, these crazy, confused, degenerate, gender disoriented weirdos all want to destroy your company, and I am here to stop them. I'm here to stop them. So you better do what I want. I'm on your side. I'm your friend. Do what I'm telling you to do, or I am going to send a shitstorm of purple-haired weirdos who don't know what their gender is after your company, and they will destroy you. And this is how they operate. I'm your friend. I'm the one standing between. Now, and by the way, how peculiar is it that Camilla Zong has a conversation with me thinking that I am the exact same way? How do I get you, Ethan, to do for us what we do to other people? How do we get you to hold Comicsgate back from interfering with our grift, our scam? Is there an arrangement that we can come to? No, I'm not doing it. And by the way, and look at this. This is the way. Think back about what's his name? Donnie Cates calling me up. What arrangement can we come to so that you will stop criticizing what we're up to? Let's have a phone conversation about it. How do we do it? How do we get on the phone and pass this, figure out an arrangement? So I'm going to come back to you guys and go, could we just stop, guys? Is there any way that Comicsgate, I'm speaking now, I'm controlling Comicsgate. Comicsgate, could you just stop having opinions about comics? Could you stop bothering these SJWs from their grift? Could you stop it? Could you stop them from destroying comics and shit? Could you do that for me, please? I was supposed to do that for Donnie Cates. I'm supposed to do that for Camilla Zong. You'll be proud to see that I have not done that. Give a fuck. Do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. But this is what they do. So anyway, Camilla Zong, working for Scott Snyder's campaign, walks away from it. I quit. Customer service is shit. I have to actually do work? She thought that she was going to extract protection racket money from Scott Snyder, evidently, and not really have to do any of the work. Scott Snyder is either really smart or really stupid. He didn't understand that this was the situation that he'd found himself in. These SJWs thought they had Scott Snyder right where they wanted him. Do you understand? We are this close to canceling you. We are this close to letting the gender-neutral weirdos come down on you. You're going to be called a bigot. You understand? They're going to call you a racist. They're going to call you a homophobe. They're going to say you don't even like trans people. Don't like trans people. We all love trans people dearly. That's what's going to happen to you unless you do what I say. And Scott didn't understand that. Scott didn't get that. So he actually wanted her to do customer service, talk to people who have problems. And by the way, there's an endless parade. When you are running an indie, when you're running an Indiegogo campaign, there's an endless parade of dissatisfied people, some of whom are unpleasant. But it doesn't matter. They gave you money. They can feel any way that they want to feel. And you've got to solve their problems or refund them or something. But you got to do it politely. I've actually found that. I've gotten some emails from people who are like, hey, Ethan, fuck you. And I'm like, sir, you can take a deep breath. Actually, you just detach yourself from it. You just go, it's okay. The worst thing that this guy's going to want is a refund. So let's just be polite to him and see what happens. Sir, what went wrong? What can I do to fix it? And suddenly, if you're nice, suddenly they turn around. They're just actually happy to hear from you. Ethan, I didn't think you were going to respond to me. Hi. No, it's okay. It's okay. I just need, my book got bent. Can you send me a new one? Of course. Happy to do it. Happy to do it. Oh my God. Customer service. But it's not for everyone, clearly. You actually do have to be patient and you have to put your ego aside. That's hard for me. My ego is everything. Ask anyone. My ego. It's who I am. No, I'm a very humble man. Charming, charismatic, humble man. Yes. But I'm meeting that challenge every single day. So she walked away. She walked away from it, and she's gone on to some other grift. But I just think it's funny. This is happening right under their noses. Like these SJWs, they pretend to actually care about marginalized people. They don't care. They do not care. These are all white people. They do not care about marginalized people. These are people who are finding leverage They're leveraging each other for power all the time, constantly, nonstop. Everything that they're doing is about leveraging something or someone for power, for personal empowerment. And you see it. You just see it all around you, and all you can do is reject it. I don't want to be any part of it. I don't want to be anywhere near it. I just want to go like this, and I want to do my own thing. And that's what we're doing here forever. Talking to an extremely famous comic book professional. Extremely. No, no, thank you. Seriously. Well, am I going to eat that on the air, Hunter? Come on now. What's the matter with you? Hunter comes down with an enormous breakfast sandwich and foil. Do you want to say hi to everyone or no? Okay. You're a happy kid here. Look at this.
I just bring him down.
Nobody can see your face.
A pork roll. Oh, your logo's in my way.
Yeah.
I bring him down a pork roll, egg, and cheese from the best bakery and deli around here, and he declines it humbly.
Are you hiding in the woods? Look at what you're wearing. Why are you camouflaged?
It's my Snap-on jacket.
Okay.
They're out the closet.
I'm not eating the sandwich.
I'm not either. I'll leave it right here for you. Love you, old man.
I love you too. People don't obey me. Could you shut my door and, maybe even lock it?
Oh, okay. Sure. No one's going to bother you ever again.
Thank you. Don't want people saying, what's wrong with wearing camo? What's wrong with it? Nothing. But what are you hiding from? I'm asking that of my son. Why are you hiding in the woods? That camouflage is the kind of camo that you would wear to go disappear in our backyard and not be seen. It's actually, it's good. And these pork roll sandwiches are good. EVS, you better eat that sandwich. Hunter is based. Well, why doesn't he base his behavior in what his father tells him to do? Eat it. Oh, eat. Yeah, eat. Oh, throw it in the trash. Throw it in the trash. Yeah. All right, I'll take a bite of it. I'm not eating the whole thing now, but I do listen to Camilla. Part of customer service is listening to your customers. You gotta listen to your customers. This is first of all, when you come to Jersey, this is how big sandwiches are. This is a beautiful Kaiser roll, and I mean honestly, on the East Coast. Tri-state area, they do bagels, they do bread better than anyone else. That's why the pizza is good here. You cannot get a good sandwich in California. You cannot get a good pizza anywhere. You can't get good bagels anywhere other than the tri-state area. Philly, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York. That's where it's at. Fuck Delaware. And don't even worry about Delaware. Damn. It's good. It is good. Thank you. Scratchpad says, EVS, eat the sandwich. You're not a beggar with a cup. I don't want to eat the sandwich. I don't. But yeah, that was good. That was really good. Let me see. We got a couple of insulting super chats here. Amateur Ant says, does your shirt say boyfriend on it? No. How dare you? All right, let me read these super chats. I want to get close to you guys. I want to know what you guys are talking about. I want to see where you're coming from. Charlie's London says, come to the UK and I'll take you to Brick Lane. Best bagels in the world. The salt beef is the best thing when you're on a night out. Yeah. Stuff on my mustache? I don't think so. That bread looks like a stoddy, a bread from the northeast of England. It's really, really good. You guys, I mean, yeah, come to New Jersey. You know, let's take you out and feed you. No, don't. There's too many of you. But we would. I mean, you know. B. Kenobi says, you're not getting rich, you're working. Thumbs up. It's nighttime here. I'm drunk. Good night. Thank you. Scratchpad says, EVS, thanks for keeping me company in my animation work. You're quite welcome. Elizabeth Lyons says, Uncle Ethan, I just purchased your amazing books from eBay. What do you recommend I bag board them with after I've read them over and over? Well, Elizabeth, good news. We send you the bags and boards. You're going to receive each of the books in its own bag and board, and you can just put them right back in when you're done. I hope you enjoy them, and thank you very much for your support. Elizabeth is talking about the eBay 48-hour, which might become a 72-hour special. It was very, very successful. Deal that's on eBay right now. You can get 6 different Cyberfrog books for $60 plus 2 stickers, and the link is in the description. Parallax Spectre says, put the Walmart 50-cent stickers on Miller cards now. I can't sell them. I want to sell Mike S. Miller. I go, do you think Mike S. Miller's cards are going to sell? And my wife says, yeah, probably. He's got some fans. I was like, okay, let's check it out. And then I put up some of his daughter, like Eden Miller did some cards too. Those sold. You know, I actually put those up on my Patreon. I'm giving Patreon, by the way, if you're on my Patreon backers, my patrons got first dibs on the John Malin cards, and they went quick. John Malin sketch cards. Holy shit. I scanned all of them, John Malin's cards, because I'm going to put out a book called Cyberfrog by John Malin. Cut him in. You know, it's just, this stuff's too good. I don't want it to just disappear forever. 200 Watt Studio says, got my 48-hour set tracking number this morning. Did you sign them? Yes, they're all signed. I signed them all. B. Kenobi says, aliens or Cuomo? Fuck Cuomo. Let me see here. Ronald Shaw says, speaking from a consumer standpoint, I would be pissed. Not just because I am not getting what I paid for, but I take shit personally. Slash and Burn Theory says, you should see Doug Ernst's retweet. What did Doug say? Is he for or against Mike's idiocy? Tank Ferret says, Red Rooster strikes me as Batman plus Superman in a chicken suit. Yeah. Tank Ferret says, unlike Smiller, my integrity isn't for sale. Charlie's London says, it's not rocket science. Not a single store or individual is getting my book before my backers. They also aren't getting the perks. Backers come first. That's all it is. You know, we've got all these, we've got apparel coming in. We've got beanies and hats and, you know, hoodies. We're going to fulfill them, and then they're going to go up on our eBay store. But backers that's the privilege. Backers get these things first and for the lowest price. And that's kind of how Cyberfrog works. That's the all caps Comics philosophy. We raise the prices. We don't lower the prices. Like when Cyberfrog Wrecked Planet comes out, we will fulfill it, and then we're gonna, whatever's left over, we'll raise the price and sell on eBay. Backers have to wait the longest, but they get the books the first, and they get them for the cheapest. Michael Bancroft says, out of the blue, we crowdfund $500 to pay an unknown artist for some trading card art. Wouldn't have been able to do that without Comicsgate and crowdfunding. Peter Armstrong says, getting a deal with a large retailer isn't necessarily a long-term business plan either. They'll drop you as soon as you're not making enough money. Correct. I don't understand what Mike's talking about. It's almost like Mike's dumb. Emma Queria, thank you for the little kitty cat sticker. Fox, I think it is. B. Kenobi says, definitely supporting the all caps book. Can I get a copy in the Philippines? Yes, you can. We will ship anywhere, all over the world. You know, especially on eBay, it's pretty easy to do that. Andrew Westwater says, Mike proved he was a dummy yesterday. He proved that a long time ago, Shirley. Bitcoin's in a Falcon. Doobie doobie doo. Well, Bitcoin actually turned out to be pretty good. Bitcoin was a good investment. Like Mike got lucky. A broken clock was right twice. It doesn't mean Bitcoin's going to last forever, even though it might. But so far, if he sold right now, he'd be doing great. Takahu Demboski. Takaho. Sorry for murdering your name there. Demboski says, please look at the character art for Deacon Armstrong. You're in Raid Shadow Legends, Ethan, leading my team. Well, send me it on Twitter. I'd like to see it. Angry Baneling says, as an actual Indian, I'm offended. Cancel EVS. Thank you, Angry Baneling. Scratchpad says, I have the Tiger plays. Ethan fulfills packages. We love shipping things. And by the way, the thing about shipping is you make more money when you're shipping things. When you're fulfilling and people are getting things, you're fulfilling. When you stop fulfilling, sales slow down. It's an endless cycle. You got to constantly be shipping people things and selling things, or else your business dies. JTH says, I know you're done with Doug, but I'd buy an Earthworm Jim Cyberfork crossover. Yeah, sure. I mean, why not? George Peter Gatsa says, hey, VS, could you do me, a warts and all customer of yours, a solid and unblock me on Twitter? Hopefully I've been caught up in a block bot. Possible? Impossible. Tag Ferret says, Smiller, Bratweiser, and Dirtworm make up a trifecta of turdery. Oh, I read that one. Scratchpad, me. I read that one. Good morning, EVS. Love the hat, says the Maverick. Let me see. Some people love Doug, says Angry Manling. They want to get backstabbed. Keaton Smith says, hail CG. I backed Starblades and picked up Blood Honey and Salamandroid Chromium from your eBay. Hey, thank you, Keaton. NASA Rabati's here. He says, F Doug. Brian Blevin says, how much to get you to sing Crisscross Jump live? I've done that before. The Dirtworm is now infecting my mom with his videos, says Esh2448. How do I get my parents to see the truth? David Feed says, here we go again. Unlike Red Rooster, Red Eyes. Oh, I read that one. Evening stream. Let me see. Last night I watched Spider-Man 2002 movie. Can't believe it's been almost 20 years. Wow. Marvel will never have that kind of success and great storytelling like that again. That sucks, says Emperor Billy Ritchie. Yeah, wow, that's crazy. It's been 20 years. Insane. But it is true. I mean, time goes by quickly. 20 years is nothing. Think about that. Like, I remember the Spider-Man movie coming out like it was yesterday. Some of you probably weren't even born yet. Thank you so much for making those cards first dibs exclusive to Patreon. I got a narwhal and a mailing card, says Brad Frederick. Yeah, I know that you did. Happy to do it. My Patreon's got to come with a lot of exclusive perks. You get to see what I'm drawing before anyone else does. And you're going to get a trading card. Oh, I'll talk to you about the trading cards in a minute. God, I don't know if it's boring. I talk about like news with All Caps Comics, like the status of things, but this is a good way to do it. Demon Vizirac says, gluttony is a fat frog man. Peter Armstrong says that. Okay, I read that one. Eat the sandwich. Okay. Bird Gang says, you're going to eat that sandwich. Angry Bandling says, EBS, you better eat that sandwich. Hunter is based. Comics Exposed says, when's Antonio coming back on the stream? I don't know. Scratchpad says, Ethan, what kind of deal do you close with investors? What do they get for their money? I don't know. I don't have any investors. I don't know how that would work. I guess a percentage of the company. I'm not sure. I mean, when we get there, we'll get there. But I'm not there yet, and I don't know what the deal is with Allegiance Arts. I don't know how they arranged it. Alberto Bonsanto says it's like a criminal group blackmailing a grocery. That's exactly what it is. Charlie's London says it's big and in the way. Ethan Van Skyver 2021. Eric McIntyre says, good morning, Unc. Looking sensually lustful as usual. Hey, have you heard Stump 2 has launched? Yes, I did. I got an email from Nathan and looked at the book. It looks great. It looks really, really great. The Stump Part 2, Stump Issue 2 on Indiegogo. Of course, Nathan is somebody who was on our Brutally Honest Portfolio review. So it's great to see him succeeding. Let's see here. Bring Zach on to talk about Camilla and the Whisper Network. Zach doesn't want to do live streams. I've asked him. He just doesn't seem like he really wants to do it right now. So that's kind of the way it goes. Yeah. All right. So trading cards. So trading cards, I've got 88,000 trading cards coming in. A lot. They're being, I was shown a sheet of them and asked if I want them to be glossy. And I said, yes, I want them to be glossy. They said that my old cards were not necessarily glossy. And I said, let's make them glossy from now on. I just think it has more quality to it, more appeal. The art's going to look better. The cards, we're improving the lettering on the back to make them more legible. The lettering is very, very small on the back. I think some of it got lost with the Heather Swain card. So we're improving the product. We will have those cards this week or next. We're going to have them very soon, and we're going to begin shipping out trading cards as well, which is just great. We just want to ship things to you guys. My goodness. Yeah. All right. So can we get a GoFundMe to get Zach back on live streams? Look, I've asked him, I've told him a million times, like, dude, get on live streams, but he just doesn't want to do it. So it's very sad. I worry about him. Put cards in your Peloton spokes. Says Cumberbatch. That's a good idea. Hey, I like your avatar. Where's that from? Oh, Edge of Oblivion #1, I think. I remember drawing that. That's beautiful. Do you own that? That's great. Zach hates us, says Slick Rick. No, I don't think he does. I don't think he does. I think he just he's a boomer. Yeah. All right, so let's look at this article. Let's take a look at this was on Bleeding Fool yesterday. They got a hold of me and they just said, "Look, we've got a new Whisper Network article coming out, new Penny Parker article." And I was surprised. I really thought the Penny Parker articles were done, but this is a new one. They gave me a kind of heads up about it. But like I said, we were at a wedding yesterday. I couldn't really do a video, even though I really wanted to. We'll read this, go through it, and I'll give you my thoughts about it. I skimmed it. I didn't read it thoroughly yet, so I'm going to be reacting to this kind of real time with you guys. It says the comic industry no longer has a blacklist. It actually has two. There are two different blacklists. This is interesting. From what I understand about what this article is trying to suggest, I mean, it is saying that the comic industry is aware of the SJW bullies, I would say. Those particular figureheads, the people who make the most noise. I would say SJW influencers who tried to work their way into comics, and it is actively trying to expel them, which is interesting. Again, I don't know if it's true or not. I'm not sure, but we'll see. To be clear, there is no piece of laminated paper with the word blacklist at the top that gets circulated around the comic book industry. That's ridiculous, and no credible source would ever claim this. There is, however, an informal list circulated among Whisper networks. We've covered that one before, but there's actually a second one that you're probably not aware of. It's fairly recent, and well, the second one comes with contract changes. By the way, every time one of these articles comes out, the same Whisper Network shitheads, and I call them Whisper Network shitheads. Probably not nice, but I'm not trying to be nice to these people. They come out and they deny that Whisper Networks even exist, and it's very strange because how do you know? How do you know that? Well, let me just show you. Like, here's an example. This happened yesterday, like when the article came out. I'm running around doing errands, and I see this tweet addressed at me from this guy, Andrew Farago. And this guy, if you're on Twitter, you know who he is. He runs something called the Comic Book Art Museum in San Francisco. San Francisco! He's running a museum up there. And he's written a couple of, like, the Art of Batman books. This guy's an asshole who will not leave comics gators alone. This guy is definitely one of the leading Whisper Network voices. I think it's because he's stupid and he doesn't know how to keep it to himself. He goes, "There is no Whisper Network. Nobody ever got blacklisted for just being a conservative. And it's incredibly creepy how the incels of Comicsgate are still triggered by that milkshake photo 5 years later. This is comics QAnon stuff." I said to him, "Shut up, you fucking douchebag." That was my response to this. I don't know how you feel about, maybe that wasn't the most gracious thing I could have said. Shut up, you fucking douchebag. But that is what I said. And then I said this. This little shithead is part of the Whisper Network to blacklist conservatives in comics. And everyone knows it. Everyone knows it. This is how we catch him. How do you confidently say a secret social media cabal doesn't exist unless you're part of it and lying? For example, somebody could say to me, "Hey, there are a bunch of people who meet together and discuss UFO lore." I don't know, something like that. And I could say, they'd say, "Do you believe that?" I say, "I don't know if that's real or not. I don't know if that's real." How would I know? How would I know about something that's a secret? It's probably a secret from me too. If I say there's a secret social media cabal and provide evidence, and Penny Parker has been providing evidence of these, at least one of these Whisper Network chat rooms, how do you say it's not real? You could just say, I don't think that's real. I've never run into it. I've personally, but to declare that it isn't real like that with 100% confidence, the only way you could do that is if you're lying and you're a part of it. You're a part of it. There is no mafia. The mafia doesn't exist. There is no mafia. Absolute bullshit. Happens every single time. Every single time, guys. All right. So, yeah, don't be afraid to call these guys out. This guy is a troublemaker. This guy is part of the Whisper Network. He's plugged in. He's queued in. He knows things that he shouldn't know. He knows them because he's a part of secret SJW chat rooms that exist to work to deplatform conservatives. Now, they always say, it's not just because you're a conservative. You can be a conservative and work in comics. You just can't run across us. Don't run afoul of us. And by the way, name one conservative, name one person who's in comic books working actively at Marvel and DC who actively talks about how proud he is that he voted for Trump. Name one. Name one. You can't name one. There isn't one. Well, we didn't blacklist him for being a conservative. We blacklisted him for being a Nazi who's an asshole. Oh, I see. And by the way, we don't blacklist people. No, you don't. What you do is you guys do everything you possibly can to make it super inconvenient for any company to employ somebody who you disagree with. And we've seen it happen. We've seen it happen over and over again. You know, this guy brags. You know, it's like here's the thing. Like, this is what's so unfair about this. This guy says this, and I say, shut up, you fucking douchebag, which is perfectly fair. You know, that's what you say to people like this. Feel free to say that to people like this. And he says, yeah, it was totally your politics and not your winning personality that cost you work with major publishers. First of all, I am the last to admit, but I will admit it. I am the world's most charming, elegant, eloquent, and yet humble man. This is what people say about me. Super charismatic. My personality is not at issue. It is impeccable. You know, it is it's beyond reproach, my personality. I'm one of the most charming men in the world. So that's not what it is. The reason why I couldn't work at a major publisher right now if I wanted to is because the minute that they made the announcement, this asshole and his friends, who all work in the Whisper Network, would bomb that individual or that publisher, that establishment with abuse and hatred. They would write articles in the media about how so-and-so company is now working with Comicsgate, working with Nazis, working with bigots. That is why. It's not because of anything I did. I didn't do anything. It's because I am a target of the Whisper Networks that make it impossible. And why? Because I voted for Trump. That is why. That is why. My behavior is impeccable. Absolute. In fact, it's scrumptious. So ridiculous. Anyway, that's what these people do. That is the gaslighting games that they play. And no, it's like if you are a conservative, if you are a Trump supporter in comics, and I know of a few, but they do not mention it. Meanwhile, if you are insane and you hate Trump and you hate conservatives, you hate Republicans, and you say horrible things, you can work in the mainstream just fine. Why? Because there is not a secret cabal of conservatives that is empowered within the comic book industry, the types of people who actually know how to blackmail individuals and companies like Boom Studios into doing what they want, into bending to their will. We do not have a secret cabal like that. We do not have that kind of power. And even if we did, we would not employ it in that kind of a way. We do not have that power. They have that power. They've established that for themselves. And that is why They're allowed to do whatever they want. They can say whatever they want to say. What are you going to do? What are you going to do about it? But if somebody else speaks out and says, hey, Trump's pretty nifty. Look at Donald DeLay. Donald DeLay is an individual who worked in the mainstream at Image Comics. What was not a whole lot of light on him. He was just doing a couple of comics. He said, I don't know. I'm listening to a lot of these diversity in comics videos. I don't think the guy's out of line. Doesn't sound like a Nazi to me. Boom. He's out of there. And he was a leftist. He was somebody, Donald DeLay was actually somebody who did say, if you voted for Trump, let me know so I can block you. Donald DeLay is a left winger, but it doesn't matter. It just doesn't even matter. He didn't fit the orthodoxy. He opposed the narrative. I don't think your boy Zach is as evil. I don't think he's Hitler. Your whole life is destroyed now. Now we destroy your entire life. Insane. Absolutely insane. That's what we're dealing with. All right, so back to this. So the Whisper Network article comes out. More than one blacklist. What? Blacklist number one, the one you've all heard of. Back in 2016, this blacklist was relatively short. How to get on it? Simple. Be openly conservative. 100% true. As the country divided, comic creators took to their battle stations, and it became clear that one side had to go. Comics already being a heavily left-leaning industry, it was an easy choice. So the conservative blacklist took shape, and new names were continually being added. But hedging the comic book left, which quickly became the far comic book left, it's getting like more and more radical. These people are radicalizing themselves within their weird cells. And then evolved into the extreme comic book left, came with unforeseen consequences. You're not be a conservative white male, are you? Come on, this is garbage tier. You'd not be a conservative white male, are you? You're not a conservative white male. How would you have rewritten? You're not a conservative white male, are you? We're coming to get you. The blacklist expands. But this is the milkshake picture. This is what all of these weirdos talk about. This is what comforts them. They think that Comicsgate formed in just hatred of seeing women in comics. But that's not the case. Each one of these individuals was, prior to this, a faceless entity on Twitter, abusing the fans while fucking up the comics. You see you see that. Why is this so bad? Why are there so many spelling errors? Why are these comics so terrible? Why is there so much emphasis on social justice themes? And social justice is not justice. It's racism. It's just pure and simple. It's racism. It's judging people and their circumstances based on the most shallow elements of their physical appearance. It has nothing to do. You can't say all black people are this. You can't say all white people are this. But that's precisely what social justice is. So this picture actually put faces to the abuse. And it drove a couple of people a little cuckoo. A couple of people got pissed off on the internet. These young little chippies are the ones who are ruining my Spider-Man comics while calling me a Nazi. Fuck these bitches. Fuck them. That's where the milkshake thing came from. You got a picture of all of the people who suck at their jobs, literally sucking at their jobs. It's almost poetic. The blacklist expands now. By 2018, no more gross, right-leaning garbage people were allowed to have a job in the industry. And if they slipped through, then they certainly weren't permitted to have any mainstream media coverage. That is correct. Around this time, Zoe Quinn was leading the Vertigo reboot. Remember that? Heather Antos was at Marvel Comics watching The Gate, and Chuck Wendig was writing Star Wars novels and using the brand to bolster his political base. And more social justice warrior types were flooding the industry, who were light on writing experience, but heavy on activism. Yeah. It was sunshine and rainbows for the extreme comic book left. They'd seemingly won. After all, they'd gotten everything they wanted. Full infestation of popular culture outlets. He's wearing a Soilo shirt. I made a lot of money from that shirt. That was great. Soylo, our Soylo t-shirt, we made like $15,000 selling those t-shirts. We just had an enormous hit with crypto fashion. I think that's one of their best-selling t-shirts of all time. So we've got Soy Face here. This is the old Chuck Wendig. He doesn't look like that anymore. But they had one more problem. There were still some old-fashioned folks at the top of the rapidly shrinking comic industry. Writers occupying coveted high-profile spots that the SJWs felt entitled to. And some of those problematic non-allies were writing books like Iron Man, X-Men, and the Batman titles. And these veteran writers weren't actually conservative or right or even centrist. No, most of those types had already been ousted. So exactly how do you intimidate and harass writers like Scott Snyder, Cullen Bunn, and Sean Murphy and force them out of those top slots that you want for yourself? You can't do it publicly. No, that's too risky. You would need to quietly plant seeds of discord and whisper rumors into the correct ears. And we all know that nobody whispers like the network. They need to make a movie of this. Nobody whispers like the network. Here's an image. Arrogant female whisper network member. I think they made this for themselves. They were passing this around. They were coping with these articles so hard. The Whisper Network bitches were coping with these articles so hard. They were like, we're arrogant female Whisper Network members. Yes, you are. The secret word gets a makeover. The word Comicsgate. Guys, welcome to Comicsgate. I'm Comicsgate. You're Comicsgate too. It's pretty cool. It's our hashtag. It describes the rebellion against social justice warriors ruining the comic book industry. If you feel that way, if that's affected you in some way, you are Comicsgate. Welcome to it. Be proud of it. Comicsgate is the primary weapon for the extreme comic book left. And to help with their campaign, Comicsgate and conservative became synonyms. So by the way, you guys, if you're Comicsgate, it means you're conservative. All you guys are conservatives. But to target left-leaning people, by the way, conservatives don't think I'm conservative. That's silly. They think I'm a liberal. I guess I would think I'm what kind of person doesn't think they're a liberal? Like, you might be a conservative, but I mean, what kind of person goes, no, I'm not. Like, I say no to everything. I'm not into if you ask anybody, are you cool with like new ideas? Like, they go, yeah, I'll try something new. That's kind of being a liberal. I know it's not politically liberal, but I mean, it's like, what kind of person would not say that they're a liberal or liberal in some way? Liberal just means something awful because of the people who we associate liberalism with. Same thing with SJW. It's like SJW, social justice warrior, was something that they were proud of until like people started associating it with who they are. I mean, I consider myself, I would be like, yeah, social justice, just strictly based on those words. I guess, yeah, sure. What does it actually mean, though? What is it's all secret. It's all, these words do not mean what they seem to mean. All right, so to target left-leaning people, the new extreme comic book left needed a more flexible weapon in their arsenal. They knew they couldn't threaten and intimidate the remaining non-woke writers with the word Comicsgate, but perhaps with enough rumor spreading, they could muddy the waters enough to make problems. They called many writers at the top of Marvel and DC Comicsgate sympathizers. Did they really, or was it just Sean Gordon Murphy? How many was it? They said they were Comicsgate adjacent if they'd ever replied to the wrong person on Twitter. That's true, or like the wrong post. Oh, and you say you denounced Comicsgate? Cute. You did it, what, 2 times? Why not 3? I guess you're a Comicsgate apologist. Maybe I'll drop your editor an email and let them know. The extremists started casting a wide net using their new rumor campaign strategy, both online and offline. But their mission was to take food off the tables, or their mission to take food off tables backfired. Nice comics publishing company you have there. Be a shame if anything happened to it. Yeah, I mean, this is what it is here. I mean, this is what they do. It's like, it's all about social pressure. No company wants to really blacklist anyone. DC Comics used to blacklist people who would badmouth DC Comics. And to me, that just seemed like fair play. I remember, I'll just name names. I don't give a shit anymore. It's like I remember Chris Cross being out there bad mouthing DC Comics. And I was in the office. I was like, why do people say stuff like this? And somebody very big at DC Comics goes, this is what people say when they never want to work for DC Comics again. In other words, this person's blacklisted. That to me, that was always kind of like, yeah, well, like, why would you get to work for a company when you are running it down? That seemed to make more sense rather than, hey, you are a Trump supporting Republican. Well, you can't work here. That makes zero sense. Late 2018 saw an implosion of the Whisper Network. Heather Antos suddenly and surprisingly departed for an esports betting website. It was her dream job. And Chuck Wendig exited Marvel Comics under controversial circumstances. Both parties continue to do damage control to this day. Yeah, Chuck Wendig was fired. I don't think there was any bones about that. Heather Antos said, I dream of working for this esports betting website. It's my dream job. And she was clearly fired from Marvel too, denying it. But were these events, which both took place in 2018, unrelated, or was there a link? A link not only to backstage bullies and rumor spreaders like Chuck and Heather, but to other key players within the Whisper Network. Was there a hidden connection between Zoe Quinn, Gail Simone, Tess Fowler, Alex DeCampi, Stephanie Cook, along with famously unprincipled tabloid journalists like Rich Johnson and Heidi McDonald and others? The answer is yes. Without knowing it, the creators of the original comic book Blacklist triggered something without even realizing it. They'd spurred the creation of a second Blacklist, only this time the list was aimed at them. And list number 2 is so well concealed, most of them don't even know they're on it, even to this day. Fascinating. Iron Man and Iron Woman. The secret Iron Man debacle of 2017, the origins of Blacklist number 2. I recently spoke with a longtime high-level executive at Marvel Comics, who I will give a gender-neutral name to protect their identity. Sam. Sam seems like a man to me. Yeah. How about Sue? Gender-neutral. A boy named Sue. Of course, over the course of 2 hours, Sam treated me to incredible insight about the industry that even I hadn't heard about. The most interesting topics surrounded someone being groomed to write Marvel's Iron Man title, the de facto leader of the Whisper Network, Alex DeCampi. Yes, this was seriously being considered and was floated in a meeting of editors and publishers in 2017. The gig was almost hers. But thanks to Blacklist number 2, suddenly it wasn't. There she is. Ew. The DeCampi clause is coined. This is crazy. One of DeCampi's allies, an executive whom she had a close relationship with, pushed this idea at Marvel. Alex DeCampi as the all-new female writer of Iron Man. The concept was to grab headlines by adding a feminist twist to the franchise with a fresh reboot and a female protagonist in the armor. And who better to write it than one of the loudest, bitchiest, most mentally ill feminists on comics Twitter. But when her name was dropped at this fateful meeting, according to Sam, quote, all hell broke loose. Windows breaking, desks being overturned, people screaming, children crying in pain. Quote, bear in mind that Antos and Wendig were still at Marvel and tensions in the office were high, sexual tensions, Sam explained. Was there sexual tension between Heather Antos and Chuck Wendig? I'll put that in your imagination. You can work that out. Those of you who are into shippers, Ant Dig, or Wentos. I'm a Wentos. I'm a Heather Antos and Chuck Wendig shipper. I make artwork depicting their pornographic romance. Ant Dig or Wendo. I think Wentos works pretty good. Wentos, the fresh maker. Hateful rumors were spreading like a virus. Bullying was rampant. Everyone was scared for their jobs due to the environment that Chuck and Heather had fostered with their cliques. The thought of DeCampi coming on board at Marvel Comics pushed reasonable people's sanity to the edge. Well, let's push it to the edge and beyond. Let's push their sanity to the edge. And let's push it beyond the edge. By the way, thank you. I've got a bunch of new Patreon patrons here. Thank you so much. You'll be glad that you joined my Patreon. For $5 a month, you will be on the list to receive Patreon puzzle cards, exclusive Cyberfrog trading cards that you can only get when you are a Patreon patron. Link is in the description below. Join my Patreon. I appreciate you guys. Wow, I got like 4. I don't know, at least four new patrons. Thank you. Here's Alex DeCampi. He's been verboten on the Whisper Network for years. Oh, the Whisper Network, the one that doesn't exist? Wait a second. I thought it didn't exist. Wait, hold on. There's no Whisper Network. Nobody ever got blacklisted for being a concern. No Whisper Network. Now I'm confused because here's Alex DeCampi, the leader, the head of the Whisper Network. He's been verboten on the Whisper Network for years. Time to stop whispering and start shouting. Yeah. What did I say to that guy again? Shut up, you fucking douchebag. That's what I said to this guy here. You know, you can say it too if you want to. You're allowed to say that. Lawyering up. Immediately, talk of getting lawyers involved started circulating behind the scenes. Everyone I spoke to was discussing options, Sam revealed. They were scared shitless. The guys and gals were already walking on eggshells, but this new edition would have been chaos. Though virtually unknown to the public, by 2017, Alex DeCampi had, quote, already spent years trying to get people fired with rumors and planting fake stories, according to Sam, especially by leveraging the infamously vicious tabloid site Bleeding Cool, a site run by her former employer and close personal friend, Rich Johnston. Here we go. Here's Rich Johnson. DeCampi is one of the greatest living comic book writers, says Rich Johnson. This is common knowledge in the industry, and it has been for a decade. If you're a fan who's been paying close attention, you're probably aware of this too. A few years ago, I was enjoying a pint with a table of Marvel creators, and we spent an evening sharing our horror stories of Alex's attack campaigns. Much like Antos, everyone in comics has at least one Alex tale. Mark Chiarello had a recent run-in with Alex where she vandalized his personal Facebook page with accusations of sexism and racism. Pros hilariously clapped back. She followed that up by calling her own paying customers deadbeats and whiners and got roasted in her own comments section. She also used Bleeding Cool to spread a story about how she, quote, didn't believe Scott Snyder when he pledged not to abuse women. And he added some racial accusations on top of it. See, that's the thing. I will never pledge to not abuse women. You know, I will not strain Alex DeCampi's incredulity. That's not what I want to do. I will not take that pledge. I'm not saying I'm going to abuse women. I'm just saying I'm not going to abuse women. That's what I'm saying. The highlights of the stories of her false accusations, personal attacks, and lunacy go on and on and on. And all of this is just from 2020 alone. Many more of her career highlights were exhaustively outed in my Whisper Network expose. DeCampi and her network have been tearing apart careers for almost a decade, and with surprising effectiveness, given her relatively low status within the industry. But the birth of the DeCampi clause brought a lot of things into perspective, and it had a ripple effect. Everyone. Yeah, it's true. Contract will not work with ADC, not AOC, ADC, Alex DeCampi. What was in the clause? According to Sam, employees at Marvel didn't want to quit and protest, but if DeCampi was actually coming on board, they demanded assurances. They needed to know they could work in a safe environment without the looming danger of social terrorism. What a great phrase. Social terrorism, constantly hanging over their heads. Without worrying they'd look at Alex the wrong way and she'd leak all their private correspondence to one of her media contacts out of spite, or vaguely accuse them of a sex crime or racial discrimination with the hope of getting them fired. So what exactly was the DeCampi clause? Proposed amendments in their contracts ensuring they would never have to work with Alex DeCampi or even be physically close to her at any time. You read that right. I don't understand. They needed to be physically close to her? It's necessary to be physically close to Alex DeCampi ordinarily, and that's why you need to put that in your contract. It's a restraining order. I'm going to restraining order against Alex DeCampi enforced by Marvel Comics in my exclusive contract. Amazing. This included being physically separated from her at convention appearances too, and being in separate hotels for overnight accommodations. This was a big one. Never having to appear on the same panel with her and making sure she was nowhere near them or their families to avoid any lies and attacks like those she's become known for. The more of Sam's friends who discussed this potential clause, the more stipulations were added. Quote, there are two rules if you want to survive in the comic industry, Sam said, laughing between sips of red wine. One, stay the fuck away from Rich Johnson and his minions. Two, if Alex DeCampi texts you, emails you, or even mentions you on Twitter, call a fucking lawyer because chances are you're eventually going to need it. Yeah. Sam explained that DeCampi isn't dangerous because of her contacts in comics. In fact, she has very few friends who are actual legitimate creators. She's dangerous because of partisan journalists like Rich Johnson of Bleeding Cool who are seemingly in her back pocket and other gatekeepers in her whisper network like Heidi McDonald that runs that comic website Comics Beat. What fans don't realize is how tight these fuckers are, Sam explained. DeCampi is in constant contact with corrupt bloggers who give her her books glowing praise and attack her enemies. Between Heidi McDonald, Graham McMillan, Caitlin Roseberg, and Asher Elbine. Remember Asher Elbine? I love this. They're all in the extended network. Asher Elbine, I went back and I listened to one of my greatest live streams ever, and it was called Oh No Oni. And it was basically about when Oni Comics joined forces with Lion Forge, two companies that were massively in debt and had zero hits. And they decided that they were going to join forces. I was like, what exactly is 0 plus 0? Is that something other than zero? Why would two companies that have nothing to offer join forces and think that changes everything? You got 4 drowning people over here and 4 drowning people over here. And what if you just float together and hold hands? Are you not drowning anymore? No, now you have 8 drowning people. 8 drowning people together in one spot. Made absolutely zero sense. And then, in any case, they hired a bunch of social justice warriors. They were trying to be Oni Comics and Lioni. They hired a bunch of social justice warriors to work for them, a bunch of weirdos, a bunch of creepy kind of purple-haired, indeterminate gender freaks. And they gave them jobs. And of course, it's like, you know what? It's when you are an editor. Hold on a second. Let me just take this off the screen for a second. And let me just talk to you guys. This is the thing that SJWs do not understand. They do not know customer service. They do not know how to work with anyone. They know how to leverage people. They know how to exploit people. They know how to utilize their allies. But when you are an editor at a company, okay, or when you are, working for Scott Snyder on his Kickstarter campaign, understand you are in customer service. They cannot do that. They do not know how to do that. They think it's beneath them. These people. These SJWs are couch surfing hobos most of the time. They are squatters and bums. They're weirdo activists. They use other people for shields. They virtue signal, and they are just the worst people fucking imaginable. You put them in charge of other people, of public relations. You hired this weirdo. Oni hired this weirdo to be an editor. Here's what the job of an editor is, and you're not going to like to hear this, okay? But it is true. An editor is a fluffer. Beside the fact they have to, catch spelling errors. They put together books. They hire people. That's the part that they like. SJWs like the part about hiring people because that is an expression of power. But editors are fluffers. It is your job to literally blow the talent that you're working with because they represent the country. I don't mean I probably shouldn't have used the word literally. Probably shouldn't use the word literally there, but it is your job to make sure that the talent is happy, because the talent is more important than you. So if you're an editor at Oni and you're working with whoever is sad enough that they're going to take an Oni paycheck, somebody just really wants to work on, what the fuck, Rick and Morty. I think Rick and Morty's their big property. Somebody really wants to work on that. They're good at it. They're able to do it and accept this paycheck. You need to be nice to them and make sure they're happy. God knows if you're working at Vertigo and your job is taking care of Neil Gaiman, it's like the company can't afford to lose Neil Gaiman. You can't piss Neil Gaiman off. Neil Gaiman needs to be working here. He needs to be happy. His needs need to be accommodated. So you can't get into personality conflicts with creative talent. You can't. That is not a luxury that an editor can afford in comics. You can't do it. And this person at Oni, this article, written by Asher Elbine, by the way, the guy that was just listed there, dummy. He's like, they had a personality conflict. You can't. You're an editor. If you are pissing someone off so that they refuse to ever work for Oni again, you need to be fired from your job as an editor. You need to be fired. You cannot get into conflicts like that with talent as an editor. Your job is to go, hey, Pages. Do you have Pages? Is everything okay? You need anything? Oh, you need reference? I can send you over a reference. Yeah, just make it. I'll ask about that raise. I'm not sure that we can do that, but I'll ask. And I think you deserve it. Yeah, sure. That needs to be you as an editor. Fighting with people is not your job. And that is all that social justice warriors know how to do. All they know how to do is fight and get into squabbles. All they know how to do is leverage human resources against the company. All they know how to do is create static and fear. So when you're hiring these people in your company, unless your company is, you just don't care. If your company's main purpose is to advocate for something or be activists and not make any money, then hire all the fucking SJWs you want. But if you're trying to actually make money and create a product and actually have a customer base that comes back, fire these people. Never hire any of them. Do not hire any social justice warriors because they work in conflict with that purpose. So the other thing that she did, this person was like, I was at a convention and one of our writers said, I'm sorry, I confused you with the other half black lesbian that works at Oni. They said that to me. And I complained and I kicked it up the chain of command and there was no HR for me to complain to. This guy still works here. Jump out a window. It's really, that's what they do. I mean, that's what SJWs do. And then you're sitting there going, most people that happens to, if somebody goes, I confused you with the other doughy white guy with the big nose, Ethan. Sorry about that. It's you. You go, son of what a dick. All right, that's cool. You don't go, I'm going to complain and get you fired. This guy dared to insult me at the very core of who I am. I'm marginalized, and this guy's a bigot. You don't do that. That's what this person did. And Asher Elbine wrote a wonderful article that was hilarious. So I went back and listened to that video. I recommend it. It's my video on this topic is 3 hours long and it'll fly by. If you have yard work to do, if you put on your headphones, and that is the best video that I've ever done in my life. I made myself laugh. I was dying just re-listening to it. I'm like, you're good at this, Ethan. You should do more live streams. And then I thought about Jabba the Hutt calling me fat all the time. And I just went, maybe I won't. I'm okay. Okay, so let's get back to this article here. We'll get through this. We'll get through this together. All right. 2 rules. And this is the thing. If Alex wants to fuck you over, she loops her goons in. These are her goons. And before you know it, you're getting smeared. It's a well-oiled machine. Want to spot a corrupt journalist from a mile away? Sam added. Easy. Check Twitter and see who retweets Alex DeCampi. That is a big fucking red flag right there. If they're using her as a source, watch your ass because they are dangerous. G Doc Swift says, Ethan, have you ever tried, not being fat? No, never tried it. Never tried it. Maybe I should try it. Saved at the 11th hour. Ultimately, the fear of having to can't be anywhere near Marvel Comics eventually got to be too much for way too many folks. And so the idea was nixed by upper management. The now infamous decampy clause that many privately discussed adding to their contracts was deemed to be no longer necessary. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief. So there is no contract that has a decampy clause in it. They just said, everyone said, we need to put that in there so that Alex DeCampi doesn't come here and raise hell. Instead of Iron Man will be written now by a feminist activist woman, Marvel was able to score this even juicier headline. Everyone at Marvel was happy. Eve L. Ewing will write the new Ironheart comic from. Eve L. Ewing. How are you doing? Eve L. Ewing. How are you doing? I'm doing fine. Yeah, it's great. Look, it even looks like her. You know, it's like the same. Yeah, teen genius superhero Riri Williams will be written by a black woman for the first time. That's great. As a sociologist of education whose research is focused on racism, Eve L. Ewing was, of course, not a comic book writer, but by 2018, the Big Two dispelled any notions of hiring writers based on merit alone, or even writers with fan bases, or even fiction writing experience at all. But despite early skepticism, Ewing hire turned out to be a very shrewd business decision for Marvel. The media swooned. The writing was serviceable, and it kept the company from suffering through what was poised to be a DeCampi-related HR nightmare, one that could have easily exploded into a legal nightmare. How could DeCampi have retaliated against such a boss move? Yeah, how could she? Did the clause expose Chuck and Heather too? All right, let's think a bit about Wentos. We need some Wentos artwork. Does anybody want to do some Wentos artwork? Tumblr style. It could be pornographic. Could be. Wentos. When word first got around in 2017 that employees were terrified at the notion of having to interact with a social terrorist like DeCampi, it opened the floodgates. Social terrorist is great. Social terrorism is great. It's a great turn of phrase. That is what this is. You know, we just described exactly what social justice warriors do. We showed you how they operate. We explained it. You've seen it yourself. And it is terrorism, isn't it? You know, it is social terrorism. It opened the floodgates. Suddenly, everyone was whispering about the many toxic personalities within Marvel and how some of them were spending a disproportionate amount of time not creating compelling stories, but trying to figure out how to end the careers of their co-workers, including Heather Antos, mental health advocate. Look at this. People didn't ask to be born Jewish. People chose to be Republican. They chose to be a Nazi. She should be ashamed. Talking about Gina Carano. She chose. Valiant editor and mental health advocate celebrating Gina Carano's cancellation and calling half of America Nazis. Bullying, intimidation, and rumor spreading were simply accepted before the DeCampi clause was proposed and were commonplace in the Wendig Antos era. Now this behavior was being discussed at all levels, and less than a year later, not coincidentally, Chuck and Heather made their embarrassing, humiliating exits that I mentioned above from Marvel Comics. Isn't that interesting? The Blacklist 2.0. So who's on it and who's next? Oh, this is good. I need to know. I need to know. Cumberbatch Pepperpot says, don't tell me how I got Jewish, bitch. Yeah, bitch. Maybe he chose to be Jewish. People didn't ask to be born Jewish. It sounds like it's a bad thing. People didn't ask. I didn't ask for this, but it is a mitzvah. Thank you. Thank you for letting me be born Jewish. All right, the Blacklist 2.0. So who's on it and who's next? L'chaim, all my Jewish friends in the chat. Love you guys. The extreme comic book left is divided into two categories. The ones who were already soft blacklisted for their past and continuing antics, and the ones who will soon be blacklisted but don't know it yet. They just don't know it. Crystal Frazier here says, I hope I get canceled like J.K. Rowling someday so I can also get a AAA video game and a major television series I can watch in my fucking English estate. Ways to make this show less transphobic. Harry Potter is played by a trans man. J.K. has an aneurysm and a do not resuscitate. What a fucking bitch. What a fucking bitch. Publicly fantasizing about the death of others and launching campaigns to financially destroy companies that you have a petty grudge against used to be seen as not just unprofessional, but dangerous and malicious. Yes, of course it. Why? Why do that? Why expend any energy at all? Why do this? All of your energy is precious. It could be utilized towards making money, and money equals freedom. And if you make money, you can do more stuff. Money isn't happiness. Freedom is happiness. Money buys freedom. Freedom is happiness. So money does buy happiness. Why wouldn't you do that? Why would you expend any energy at all trying to destroy J.K. Rowling when you could just, try to make a living and be clever? I don't get it. Dangerous and malicious. Now it's commonplace and accepted and will reliably get applause on Twitter. Yay! We destroyed some people. But these actions aren't soon forgotten. Throwing a digital Molotov cocktail and watching it burn might score points with angry Twitterati mobs, but sane business owners are usually not impressed by such anarchy. Here's Stephanie Cook. Ugh. When is Kickstarter going to make a policy so big so the big corporations and companies aren't allowed to crowdfund on their platform? This is directly taking away from indie creators that actually need it. This is what I was talking about before. I mean, these idiots think that Kickstarter is their ghetto. They literally think it's their slum. Kickstarter is where they are squatting, and they have squatters' rights. And therefore, no big companies who can actually utilize Kickstarter to raise enormous amounts of money for products that people actually want should be able to use Kickstarter. It's their slum. And they think, these idiots, I used to run into this a little bit too. I'd have a few weirdos, even in Comicsgate, who would be like, you came in and took all the money. I'm like, you got to understand something, fellas. The money for Cyberfrog was always coming my way. It was never coming your way and then it went my way. It was always coming my way. People like Cyberfrog. I could have, gotten Cyberfrog funded in 100 different ways. It doesn't affect you at all. There's infinite money out there. There are infinite customers. Those customers have autonomy. They will either spend money or not based on whether or not they want a product. These people like Stephanie Cook, think that Keanu Reeves came in and built a multiplex theater. I mean, think about like a beautiful IMAX theater. We're showing this great looking comic book movie right in the middle of their slum. And they think that the money that was going to go into their guitar cases and tin cups, they think the dollar bills that were going to go into her G-string are being spent instead on Keanu Reeves' comic book. And that's just not the case. The choice was never, should I spend my money on Keanu Reeves' comic book or should I put it in Stephanie Cook's G-string? That was never the choice. You're either predisposed to do that, to fling dollars at people doing ping pong ball tricks, or you are going to, you're going to put it, in a great looking campaign like Berserker, or the Power Rangers campaign, or that SCP book that's on, I think it's SCP, that's on Indiegogo, or Cyberfrog. Why not Cyberfrog? It's not taking away money from indie creators that actually need it. And who gives a shit? It's not a charity. We don't care if you need it. People should not be buying things based on the neediness of the manufacturer. That doesn't work. That is not sustainable. That is not sustainable. I don't care if you need it. I'm not buying your shit just because you are a bum. They're a bum. They need you to buy their comic. I don't want their comic book. If they need it, they need to produce something that I actually want to spend money on. Something that I'm anxious. I have Cyberfrog fans who are like anxious for me to crowdfund the action figures. They cannot wait to spend money on the action figures. I don't blame them. The action figures look great. I don't have to go to them. I need your money. Please. Please. Help me. Please buy my lesbian bicycling comic. I'm dying. Oh, you're going to give your money to Keanu Reeves? He doesn't need it. I need it. Oh, shit, I'm peeing blood. Oh, fuck. That's not the way the world works. That is not capitalism. Create a product that people want. Might not be the product that you want to make, too. I mean, you might not get to make your lesbian bicycling comic. People don't want it. Unless you're independently wealthy, in which case, why are we having this discussion? But if people actually need it, people actually need to find it within themselves to create a product that people want to buy and people want to spend their money on. I think about that all day long. I'm like, how can I get more money from customers? What do they want? What is it that they want? I lay up at night. I talk to Andrew. I go, what do they want from me? She goes, they want to call you fat. I'm like, no, I mean, beyond that, what do they want? What do my customers want from me? How can I entertain them? How can I create something that makes them happy so that I can get $20 from them? I'm like, Andrea, think of this. What if I created something so cool that all 146,000 of my subscribers gave me $20? We'd be rich. She's like, yeah. So you work on it, sweetheart. And that's it. And I do. I stay up all night. Think about it. This is directly taking away from indie creators that actually need it. I hope so. I hope everything I do takes away from indie creators that, quote unquote, actually need it. I swear, I want to run a bulldozer right through your slum. I want to have a construction crew of badass comic book creators, indie creators who actually know how to make things that people want. Comicsgate, we are running our bulldozers right through your slum. Fuck you and all of your creators that actually need it. It's your fault. You have a chance to take what you want from life. You just have to follow a few rules. You have to consider other people. You have to actually consider the needs and wants of other people. People have money. They worked hard for it. How do you get some of it? You need to do the same thing. You guys are unwilling to do that. You're unwilling to actually do work and do customer service for people like Scott Snyder. You volunteered for it. Scott naively thought that's what was going on there. What do you want to? Oh, you want to do all the customer service interaction? Okay, yeah, that's good. You know, that leaves me more time to masturbate to hentai, manga, masturbate to hentai. If you're doing all my customer service, I have more time to masturbate to the blue girl. Oh, don't have sex with the monster. No, yeah, that's, you know, so you do that. And I will do my thing. I did see the blue girl. That was crazy. Oh, don't make me have sex with the monster. No. I was like, I'm not making you do anything. So anyway, you know, they can't do it. They cannot do customer service. They cannot figure out what it is. They don't know how to, they don't know how to interact with people. They don't know how to keep relationships with talented people, actual talented people. They pick fights with them. They don't know how to do customer service. They resent it. They think it's beneath them. How could they possibly, how could they possibly create something as great as Berserker or Cyberfrog, preferably Cyberfrog? I'm going to stop talking about Berserker. F Berserker. That's not my campaign. Cyberfrog. How could they do it? They can't. So let's do that. I want to carpet bomb these people. Is there a way that we can do that? Can Comicsgate raise enough money to build its own military Is that a possibility? I'm going to roll tanks through their slum. I want them emptied out. I want them tossed into trash bins, dumped off a cliff. You know, let's turn the Grand Canyon into a landfill of SJWs. Just pile them in there, pave them over. All of their dreams. No more of this nonsense. Create something. Change your mind. Change who you are. Change what you're after. Change what your goals are. And then you won't have to cry like this. This is embarrassing. Then you won't have to get Kickstarter. You won't have to use Kickstarter. You won't have to say, Kickstarter, change your rules. We need you to skew the game towards us. Paving over the Grand Canyon. Delaware Comic Dude says Fat Man is jealous of Keanu. No, I'm not. I'm not jealous at all. I don't even think about it. I don't even think about Keanu Reeves and Berserker. I'm not jealous. You don't need to look further than recent Agents of Chaos and what became of their careers after they went too far with their constant attacks and online tantrums. Ask yourself, where is Zoe Quinn's new comic series? Hopefully up her ass. Why isn't Andy Corey editing at DC Comics anymore? Because of me. What happened to the ever-rising star of Mags Visaggio? Oh, my God. Mags took a picture of Mags's naked back, and it was really offensive. I don't know why Mags did that. Where is Kelly Sue DeConnick's? Where is Kelly Sue DeConnick's new book? Where is it? Where are these people? What's going on? I don't know. Let's find out.
And if you don't like my politics, don't buy my book. Don't read them. And if you don't like my politics, don't buy my book. Don't read them. Girls read comics. Girls have always read comics. Problem solved. White boys, comic book reader. Don't buy my book. Don't buy my book. I literally can't even think. We can have a little conference on that. Would you please get your politics out of my comic books? Don't read them. What comic books are you reading? What comic books are you reading? Would you please get your politics out of my comic books? Don't read them. What comic books are you reading? What comic books are you reading? Comic book reader. Comic book reader. May I curse? White boys, don't read them.
I have an important message for you. You did it. I'm super proud of you. Yay! You did it! Yay!
There is nothing inherently masculine of heroism. There's nothing inherently masculine heroism. Girls read comics. Girls have always read comics. Problem solved. Magic!
Yay! Yay! You did it! Yay! Indisputable truth.
So, don't.
Watch me do this to you. I don't know why Max Visaggio would post this. I don't know why. God, I'm sorry. I said I'm sorry. Sorry for that. Yeah. Why? Why does this happen? I don't know. Before we get back to the article, Stealing Solo, the Phantom Menace edition. Jeff Hicks is back with a brand new comic book cover, and for some reason, I'm on it with pie. This is me. I'm holding a pie. It looks like I'm offering it to you instead of eating it myself. So that's already unrealistic. You know, Anna painted it. She said, "Does this look like you?" I said, "No." She said, "Why?" I said, "Because I'm giving someone else a pie. It doesn't look like me at all." This is a book about the world-class bullshitters, guys, kidnapping Harrison Ford. and making him do Star Wars the right way. And I don't know. It looks like fun. Here's another drawing of me with my nose holding a pie, dressed like Julius Caesar. It's fine, guys. It's fine. Great job. Back this fantastic campaign, Stealing Solo, the Fandom Menace Edition, and absolutely enjoy this magnificent comic book by the High Council. Sometimes I miss the High Council. Sometimes I'm like, maybe I should be on the High Council again. But, oh, thank you. You guys just gave him another $2,000. Awesome. Snowman, A Cold Day in Hell. This is the one I'm promoting today because I really want to see Snowman get to 100,000. I showed off some new artwork. If you haven't backed Snowman yet, this is what the interiors look like in black and white, and it's going to be in color. I haven't even gotten a page of this colored yet. I'd like to I really would like Kyle Ritter to color this, but I don't know if Kyle's too expensive. I had to think about it. Anyway, back Snowman, A Cold Day in Hell. Back Starblades. This is going off to get, we're going to get a price list. We're going to find out exactly how much this is going to cost at different printers to get printed. We'll have this for you in 2 or 3 months. We'll ship this out. Don't you worry. I know it's very, very late, but we've got this. Daddy's got this now, and we're going to ship this out to you. All Caps Comics is publishing Starblades. Cyberfrog 2 Wrecked Planet, one of the biggest campaigns of all time, much bigger than Keanu Reeves. Much, much bigger than Keanu Reeves. Definitely bigger than all of these SJW bitches. And this is how to do it. This is our little independent multiplex, right here. We don't need to be big movie stars. We're Comicsgate. Cyberfrog 2 Wrecked Planet, one of the biggest campaigns of all time on social media. Cyberfrog, definitely the biggest character ever to be crowdfunded exclusively on social media. And that is all because of us, you and me, and our cool little relationship. And, look, we take care of you. All Caps Comics takes care of our customers. That's why we're making toys. We've got the Salamandroid toy here with his super long bendy tail, as you can see. These are $25 and a little miniature Cyberfrog that matches this to scale with this. Comes with the purchase of every single copy of Wreck Planet sold. So you're going to get toys no matter what if you back Wreck Planet. Rainbow the Brute also. We're going to be working on this campaign this year. Let me show the video.
New from All Caps Comics. Rainbow the Brute. The last real man in fairyland. A tale of prismatic pain, a spectrum of brutality, and a pretty good dad. Choke slam a unicorn by backing it today, only on Indiegogo.
Back Rainbow the Brute, choke slam those unicorns. That's what it's all about. Choke slamming unicorn punk asses. Trent Kanuga's Creed, Reimaginary Volumes 1 and 2. I got to show you guys the cover for the new Unforgettable Tales number 4, Creed versus Cyberfrog reprint. Back that. Buy copies of Creed Reimaginary 1 and 2. They're only, I think they're $20 each for a 60-page book. So make sure that you do that. Can I tell you, we are awesome. We are totally awesome here at All Caps Comics. Shut up, you fucking douchebag. Okay, I will. I'll get back to work. All right, so back to the article. Cumberbatch Pepperpot says, is Kyle feeling any better? Give him my best. Kyle turned in a new page today that looked great. We don't have to do this yet. Kyle is feeling better. If we judge Kyle, if we are to judge Kyle based on the work that he does, then yes, he's doing much, much better. Let me download this and open it. I don't know. I mean, Kyle is a gifted and talented young man. And even though he gets sick more often than an old lady, he's indispensable in every single way. Kyle turned in a new Wreck Planet page in color. Here it is. Let me see. Can I blow this up in any way? Oh, yeah, I can. Look at this. Yeah, this is great, man. Look at what Kyle does. We got Cyberfrog beating the living fuck out of a Vespis in the woods here. And this is what happens. One of the Vespis follows Cyberfrog back to the Pine Barrens. Cyberfrog's got the advantage here because of the woods, but the problem is Cyberfrog is not hooked up to Chell Sin. So he has only his basic strengths. You know, he's got his frog powers. He can jump. He's got super strength. He's got his tongue. But he can't heal himself. Oh, look at Lily. Ah! I told Kyle, I said, Kyle, you got to color her tongue. This is her tongue. It's pink. Otherwise, this looks like buck teeth. It looks like she's like, oh, no, you got to color that. So he's going to color that pink. Distracting Cyberfrog for 1 second. And that's all it takes. Stung right in the chesticular region. Just stung by one of these Vespas. This is my finest artwork. I gotta say, it doesn't matter if you like it. I do. I like it. This is like the best stuff I've ever done in my career. So happy about this. Really is beautiful. And Kyle did a great job of coloring it. Yeah. Emperor Billy Ritchie says maybe she does have buck teeth. It's possible, but it wasn't my intention. It wasn't the intention of this creator. Yeah. Spoiler alert. Yeah, no. Don't worry about it, guys. It's not, you know. Well, you're a newbie, so well, that's true as well. Yeah, I would back Cyberfrog Wreck Planet. It looks like people are backing it now. Every time I show the artwork, I get a couple more backers. Appreciate you guys for that. All right, let's get back to the Whisper Network article and see what's what. Let's learn a thing or three. All right, so what is this? You needn't look further than recent Agents of Chaos and what became of their careers. Again, why isn't Andy Corey editing at DC anymore? Because of me. Because of me. No, probably not because of me. Mags Visaggio, of course. Mags Visaggio not around. Whereas Kelly Sue DeConnick, I don't know. Bleeding Fool says, if only there was some reasonable explanation for why DC Comics would cancel Aquaman, written by Kelly Sue. Aquaman's gone. The entire book is gone now because of Kelly Sue. But they had abysmal sales, you're probably thinking, which is true. What's also true is they're on the list. Although no one in comics is hired based on talent or marketability or even numbers anymore. As mentioned above, that philosophy went by the wayside years ago. But take notice of how even industry bloggers who lean towards extremism are slowly and quietly being weeded out recently. God, this is so optimistic. Could this be true? Rich and Heidi's good buddy Graham McMillan just got ousted from the Hollywood Reporter. And understand, it's not because, you know, I don't like to see people lose their jobs, but I want people who are agents of social justice warriorism, radical leftists, whose job is not to tell me the news about Hollywood, but to cause trouble and to be an activist. I want these people gone. Just tell me, if you're a Hollywood Reporter, tell me what's going on with Star Wars. I don't need to know your. I don't want you to. You know. I don't need to know your agenda. I don't want to have to tolerate it. Just shut the fuck up and tell me what's up with Hollywood. Thank you. How many pedophiles are there? Tell me about those. Tell me about the pedophiles in Hollywood. While Graham does most of his trash talking privately, quote, it's no secret he loves to spread rumors to do as much damage as possible, says Sam. And this is confirmed according to many insiders. Here's Graham. As they say, some personal news. Today is my last day as a regular at the Hollywood Reporter's Heat Vision. I'm going to very much miss it. And the plan is that I'll still be contributing in the future in some form. So I'm not gone entirely. And the opportunities it afforded me for so long. The opportunities to destroy lives. Not surprisingly, he's also a faithful Alex DeCampi minion. The minions of DeCampi. Final thoughts. The lunatics of today, addicted to those retweets, will see their careers quietly sunsetted tomorrow. And the irony, as they laugh while trying to destroy the careers of others, they don't realize they're being covertly added to blacklist number 2, and they'll likely never be told about it. I suppose they'll know if they're reading Bleeding Fool. Good. Here's the bottom line, Sam added. The second blacklist gets brought up in terms of these proposed clauses when enough concerned employees ask for a Fowler clause or a Mags clause or a Joe Glass clause or a Stephanie Cook clause. Decisions have to be made. Do you protect your team from bullying, threats, and harassment, or hire one of these goons and roll the dice? At that point, you're pretty much lighting the Molotov cocktail yourself and waiting for them to toss it. You may be asking, will the pendulum ever swing back the other way? Will Marvel ever return to the Denny O'Neil classic liberal days when Chuck Dixon and Mike Barron could write for either company without being harassed or threatened? That remains to be seen. But ideally, a more neutral and centrist direction would be healthier for both employee morale and the comic book customers that the industry desperately needs to win back in the current climate. Yes, it's climate change. In the meantime, the extreme comic book left, aka the Whisper Network, are torching future opportunities so they can get even with their perceived enemies on Twitter. And at least in the short term, there is no sign of those folks slowing down. Too bad you can't pay your rent with social media likes. Boom! More soon. Okay, so that is the new article from Penny Parker. There's a picture. Penny Parker's hot. There's a new picture of Penny Parker there. And that's very exciting indeed. Very optimistic article in which an executive at Marvel is interviewed and explaining why some of these people who are known social justice bullies on Twitter, on social media, are losing their opportunities and being deplatformed. And we are seeing it happen. It's a natural thing. We don't really have to advocate for it to happen, but it is happening anyway because companies really are, most of these companies really are looking at the bottom line. Yeah, everybody likes Penny Parker. She's cute. What a cutie. Yeah, right. Is Smiller next? Yes, he is. Now we got to deplatform Smiller. Doomnatron says, I sent you a message on Patreon. I want a card. Okay, well, thank you, Doomnatron. Patreon cards are coming, guys. We're waiting for them to come my way. I will be sending Patreon cards and channel member cards. Shockroach is the first card here on YouTube. The YouTube channel members cards. We'll get Shockroach first. Kyle has turned his deafness into a gift because he can't hear Ethan's music, says Cumberbatch Pepperpot. And that is the sad thing about it. He can't hear my music. You know what I do? When he comes over here to sign books, I'm going to have him put his hand on the speaker while I play and sing. He'll feel the vibrations, you know. He'll feel the vibrations of my music. That's beautiful. I think about it and I want to cry, you know. It's like, yeah, it doesn't matter. Music can get through. Like, beautiful music can get through. Even to people who can't hear it, you know, they can feel it. Music is something that you can feel. Wolverine is gay. Yeah. Yeah. That's how it's going to be, guys. Don't worry. You can be a part of it. I will bring you in on it. We'll make a live stream out of that. All right, let me see what we're saying. Doomnatron, I read that. Cumberbatch Pepperpot says, is Kyle feeling any better? Yes, he is. Paul Pratt says, don't buy my book. Clint Matthews says, I would buy a delicious EVS fruit pie. So would I. Russell Hall says, you're not offering pie. You're taunting us with it. Andrew Venables says, customer service is a skill. To develop it, you have to give a shit. Emotional blackmail is not a business model. Thank you so much. This is true. Tuna Watt Studio says, they paved over Paradise, the Grand Canyon, with SJWs and put up a parking lot. Fair trade. I would, yeah, absolutely. Let's put the Grand Canyon to use, finally. Emma Quiria says, what is your opinion on manga and how it's beating comics? I understand why it is. I've never been a fan. You know, I like the... when I first started working at DC, I'd go to New York City and I'd go to Chinatown and I'd buy a lot of Hong Kong comics that were similar to manga, I think, in style. I really liked them. I thought they were cool. I liked the speed lines and the effects, the way of drawing kind of explosions and motion. And I used a lot of it for Impulse when I was drawing Impulse. But in general, like, these comics were not translated. You know, they were still in Chinese. I don't know. I don't read any manga comics. What do I think of them? I understand why they're beating. They just have more appeal right now, don't they? I don't think their characters are as good usually. How do you beat Spider-Man? How do you beat Batman? But at the same time, they do have it's obvious they have mass appeal. MR God says, last time Kyle was on, he was muted the whole time. Oh, Kyle. Poor Kyle. Hey, I don't even care. Kyle can do no wrong. Kyle, after seeing that page that Kyle just turned in, very happy with him. Scratchpad. Instead of banning corporations from Kickstarter, let's have a minimum backers requirement to get the money. Daniel Stout says the left thinks the only way to be successful is to take from others. Randy Wackenfeld said social terrorist 2021 phrase of the year. Thank you, EVS. I didn't come up with it. That was Penny Parker. Penny Parker. Where is the biggest pushed Comicsgate comic, by the way, EVS? Cash grab. Lame, says Simple Jack. It's still being drawn. Donald DeLay turns in a new page or two every week, and Cecil shows them. The book is the book is happening. Don't worry, it will happen. And I keep seeing progress on it. The book is hilarious looking. It looks like fun, and I can't wait till it's done. Scratchpad says Heather is so Antos intolerant. Nathan Rosario says Stump number 2 is now fully funded, and we still have 28 days left in the campaign. Thanks to everyone who backed the book so far. And if you haven't yet, please check it out. That is Stump number 2 on Indiegogo. Chemo Black says, love the books. I don't want to open old wounds, but why did Mike leave? I missed the days of 9-person live streams. Mike left because he is gay, and he was having difficulty dealing with it. That's the reason why. No, he's not gay. Mike left because personality conflicts, and that is why. That's basically why. He didn't like me showing him images of penises, which is what I was doing, and they weren't literally penises. They were things that were shaped like penises. He didn't like that. I would say, "Hey, Mike, I'm thinking about putting a pool in my backyard." And I would show him images of pools. I'd say, I'm trying to decide what pool I'm trying to put in. And I would show him images of pools, and every single swimming pool was shaped like a penis in some way. And Mike didn't like that. He asked me to stop, and I would not stop. I wouldn't stop doing it. Some people said, why wouldn't you stop doing that? I said, I don't know. It's funny. What are you going to do? That's the whole thing. Like, why? When something's funny, you keep doing it, don't you? Or do you not do it? Out of kindness, do you not do it? People liked it, more and more people were saying, hey, hey, Mike, and then showing him stuff that I guess he didn't appreciate. But do we miss him? You miss Mike? Some people do, I guess. Yeah, I would just be like, it wasn't even bad. Like, it wasn't bad. Like, it was funny. Like, it was meant in jest. I'd say, hey, Mike, I'm putting a pool in my yard. What do you think? And he'd be like, ha, 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 very funny, Ethan. I'd be like, okay, you don't like that one? What about this one, Mike? Mike, I'm putting a pool. I'm putting a pool in my yard. Mike would say, that's disgusting. I'd say, Mike, what about this? Mike, hey, Mike, look, here's an overhead view of my pool. Mike, what do you Mike, I'm putting a pool in my backyard. What do you think of this one? It's got a nice water slide. Overhead view, Mike. Hey, Mike, what do you think of Mike? I'm putting a pool in my yard, Mike. Mike, do you like them? Mike, which is your favorite? So that's why Mike left. And now that you've seen it, you can understand like why he's no longer. It was done out of love, It was never intended to. It was never intended to abuse him in any way. Imagine being me sitting there collecting images of things that look like a penis so that I could, abuse him. Let's see. I can be the Mike of Comicsgate. We don't need the other one. All right, Michael Raw. That's cool. Do you take yourself very seriously? The main thing about Mike is that he took himself very seriously. Emma1313 says, Sunday morning with Uncle E. Happy Sabbath indeed. Is today Sunday? Isn't today Saturday? Oh, maybe it's Sunday morning where you are. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've got Saturday ahead of me here. Yeah. Mike is boring. He's meant to play straight men to the world, and he doesn't get that. He had trouble playing it straight, if you know what I mean. He had trouble playing straight. I don't. 200 Watt Studio says, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the one. Mike didn't understand that many enjoyed the peen pick harassment of him. Yeah, you know, I've said that a few times. I've said that in other ways too. You know. He just didn't get it. That's the way it goes. And there's still, I mean, that's why there are, hey, Mike, you know, avatars that you can use. Not avatars, emojis. All right, I don't know. I bothered you guys enough today. I feel like I bothered you guys enough. I don't know. I feel like maybe. Here's the thing. All right. Here's what I would like you to do. I would like you to consider joining my Patreon for $5 a month so that you can get the Patreon puzzle cards that are coming out. And not only that, get awesome opportunities. Look at this. This is my Patreon page once you belong to it. I've got 336 patrons already, I think. Let me refresh it and see. 342 patrons. More Patreon people are joining. $5 a month, and you get all kinds of access to stuff that other people do not get. This was interesting here. I've got sketch cards for sale on eBay, but for my Patreon patrons, I gave them first crack at them. So I said, if you're here first, here, look at all these John Malin Cyberfrog original art sketch cards. I said, here they are. I mean, you know, you guys get first dibs. And so, you know, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. If you're paying $5 a month to be on my Patreon, not only do you get a trading card, but you got first dibs of one of the John Malin Cyberfrog sketch cards. So it kind of worked out pretty good. People were excited about that. The link is in the description. You can join my Patreon. And what else? Oh, yeah, of course. Do not forget, whatever you do, do not forget to purchase the Cyberfrog 48-hour special deal. 48 hours on, oh, there are 15 left. I'll put up more. I'll put up more if these sell through. I think we have like 100 more that we can offer. $60, and you're getting, look at this, you're getting all 3 line art variants of Cyberfrog Blood Honey. The interiors are in full color. It's just the covers that are in black and white, glossy line art covers. You are receiving the 2 ash cans, 1998, The Diary of Heather Swain. Read this first. Read Blood Honey first, and then read The Diary of Heather Swain. And then read Wrecked Planet. This is 10-page preview of Wrecked Planet. And then go ahead and read Amphibionics for fun. You are getting all 6 of these comic books. You are getting these 2 stickers, and you're going to get them in like 2 days. We're shipping these super fast. We were prepared. We're ready to rock and roll. We're ready to show people what fulfillment looks like. We know how to fulfill comics. We know how to do it. So you're getting all of these books for $60, which is roughly half price. I think it's about half price, you know, if you did the math for how much these books normally sell for individually. Go ahead and click See Other Items here. You can see what's in our store. We do have sketch cards by E.J. Morgis that are available right now. These are original artwork by Andrew Huerta. If you want some Andrew Huerta artwork, this is pretty much the only place you can get it right now. Sorry, Andrew. You can get some porno cards here, porno comics. What is this stuff? Sketch cards by Mike S. Miller, who for some reason doesn't like swimming pools that are shaped like penises. He just didn't like it. It's very strange, but we have some of his trading cards here as well. And I don't know what else is down here. Look at all these beautiful cards. Cyberfrog team up variant. Wow, we sold 101 of these. Unforgettable Tales 1 and 2 are available here if you missed those for $20. The Ash Can set. The Blood Honey Chromium edition, we only have like, I think 1.5 boxes of these left. These are almost gone. And when they're gone, they're going to be gone for good. You're going to have to get them somewhere else. And then the Salamandroid Chromium variant, I've got like half of a crate of these left. They're so beautiful. We sold 2 of them yesterday, and I took them out into the light, and I was like, God, this is such a beautiful comic book. And the Wreck Planet preview book foil. So go to the link, our eBay store, get what you're missing, get the Cyberfrog stuff that you're missing, and then absolutely run over here to Wreck Planet and back this campaign. You know, you're not going to want to miss this comic book. When we're shipping this book, everybody's going to be talking about it. And if you haven't, if you didn't back it, you didn't get it, you're going to be sad. You're going to be jealous of everyone. I don't want you to be jealous. Jealousy is not what we're about. We are not about jealousy here. Not at all. Yeah. So I appreciate you guys. You guys are great. I love you guys. Toy news, says Teflon Ron. There's no toy news right just yet. You know, except for the PVCs that you're going to get with Wreck Planet. We have, you know, those are certainly, you know, available. As you can see over here, there are the box toys. See the box toys? Let me see if I can get my... There we go. That's the Salamandroid toy. On top of that is the Cyberfrog PVC. And that is what you're going to be getting. That's the final product. They're big. They're beautiful. We did a great job with the packaging and everything. I'll tell you, I just talk. I just yap all day long. Andrew's like, what are you down there talking about? I'm like, nothing. I barely talk about anything. But I do it for a long time. And then people join me. I appreciate you guys. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. And I will see you again later. I got to get to work. I got a lot of things that I need to do today. I'm mostly drawing today. But great having you here. And I'll see you again soon with another video. Go out there. Have a great Saturday. Have a great weekend. Spend it with your families. I'll see you again soon.